Do you want to be a part of the CoCo community? Sure, we all do. So join this free weekly live talk show to find out how easy it is to watch at home and learn about your color computer. At the CoCoNation, more than 9 million men and women have participated in the community without setting foot outside their homes. And now at home in your spare time, you can see what's happening, or even join the discussion. Choose from any one of these segments: panel intros, project updates, acquisitions, CoCo thoughts, featured interviews and events, the Game On Challenge, news, Ron's Garage, CoCo commercials, show coverage, panel goodbyes, or you can join one of our extra shows. You can choose from the Game On Challenge Live or CoCo Tech. Join the CoCoNation right now.
Click the link for the free information TJB Chris spoke about. Then decide if you want to watch the CoCoNation Live Show, the world's leading live weekly talk show featuring the Tandy Color computer, its siblings, cousins, and red-headed stepchildren. Visit thecoconation.com. There is no obligation and no salesman will visit you. Visit thecoconation.com.
The CoCoNation show is an unscripted, live, and interactive broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own, and not necessarily those of the CoCoNation show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds are encouraged, and a sense of humor is recommended. Thank you for being a part of the CoCoNation.
Radio Shack? Okay.
What?
The 80s called.
Welcome to the CoCoNation, the world's first live and interactive talk show featuring the Tandy color computer and its hardware cousins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CoCoNation Show, episode 441. Somebody's eating the microphone.
Right? Your voice is kind of low.
Sorry. Thanksgiving leftovers. I'll mute.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find any other sliders to make this thing any hotter, so I don't know. Maybe this mic's finally dying.
Check your battery.
Maybe you gotta bend down
I
into
just
the
charged
mic.
it. What's that?
Bend into the mic. All right. There you go.
There. Let's see. Is that any better?
That was louder when you had it up.
When you hit it up.
I could do this.
Oh, geez.
Okay. There's that
like
game
a
you've been missing.
drive-through.
Modulation.
We just lost 50 viewers.
Right.
Turn the amp back off, truckers.
You knocked Wingnut off his seat. Right.
Okay, I guess noise canceling works too well. Okay. Let's see. Panel
He puts
today.
it back down.
Yeah.
Well, you got your volume control between your chin and your mouth is range of about 50 to 100. So just pick
Wow.
a spot and yeah.
Well, if I go down there and then bend
You're
this
quiet.
up like
Up here, you're
this.
loud, and there.
There we go.
Damn
How
it.
about that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Don't
First
move.
up. Don't move. Okay. Well, I got it set so it's all the way at the bottom now. So
Okay.
when I unmute, I can go back to the same spot. Okay. First up, we got Kevin Holloway,
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
and his shirt matches his parts bin.
Mhm.
Right. Hit him with a green screen. Yeah.
Next over, we got Alan, Exile in Paradise.
Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the show, and shout out to David Ladd,
Yeah.
Nick Marotta, friends.
Yeah. We miss you. Next over, yours truly, then Marco.
Hey there. Glad to be here today.
Okay. Next row, we got Mopar Ron Deluxe.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. We're going to have a good one today.
And we've got Richard from Boys Tech.
Hello, how is everybody doing? Welcome to the show.
And his twinsy, we got Bob Emery.
Hello, and welcome to the show, everybody.
And Rick Euland.
Just to remind everyone, we're only 999,600 and change from 1 million viewers. So smash that like button.
Yeah, we might break $1 for this week.
Woo!
I like that Rick is such an optimist.
Somebody has to be.
All right. On the next row, we've got Frederic, micro hobbyist.
Hello, everybody. And if you hear a large crashing sound, pay no mind. Just be ready with the mute button because you'll hear some cussing.
Sirens.
Okay.
Yeah, he's running from the cops right now, so
What's the ETA, bud?
we're rooting for you.
Oh,
5 minutes, about 5-10 minutes max.
All right.
Frederic swearing in the car while on the CoCo show. I already got that. Don't steal my bit.
And next up, we got special guest L. Curtis Boyle.
What show is this? Oh, welcome to the show, everyone.
441, I think.
Let's see. Then we got Wingnut.
Hey, good afternoon, or evening, or morning, wherever you are.
All right. Then Brian Weasler.
Welcome to the show, all.
And last but not least, sneaking into last second here, Ken Waters.
And he's muted.
Yeah, but you can't make
He's
him say
here.
anything.
He's here.
Sounds really good.
You got rushing water. Can't hear.
His Christmas shirt overpowered it.
All right.
Okay.
He's
In
gonna-
the chat, we've got Kevin Holloway, J.E. Jones, Wayne Campbell, Michael Zwiffel, Brian Blake, Jim Rye, Marco Sixy, 8 Bits in the Basement, Scroll, Tom Eric Gunderson, Coco Living, Daddy Burrito, Joe Love a Coco,
Make up
that's
some
Rick.
names for the gap.
Yeah, just kind of scrolling.
Did you get David Craker?
Not yet. There he is, David
He's the
Craig.
bottom of the list. But he's there.
Dixie's in there. Oh.
Yep, because I got to filter out the ones I've mentioned already, and I think I mentioned Brian Blake.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. All right, we're caught up to date. So, Ken, got your mic sorted out?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You can.
No.
Yes.
Ah, man.
The only
Okay.
thing I don't like about Linux, it does not play nice with my equipment.
Right.
Which parts you not having compatibility with?
My microphone and my headphone,
Ooh.
constantly, every time I reboot the computer, I have to reset them. Unplug them and plug them back in, or otherwise they don't detect them.
Oh, right. Or they
yeah.
probably detects them, but not under your user account, so they can't be used by you. So you have to plug them in while you're the active console user, and then they work. And
user friendly.
Linux. Yeah, yeah.
But that still is way better than anything that Windows gives
Well,
you.
yes, there's that.
That's the thing with Windows. You can guarantee it's just not going to work.
Right. No matter
But
what
it'll
you do,
tease you to say it is.
It'll kind of work, and then it'll stop, and you won't know why, and then it'll start again. You won't know why, and there's nothing you can do about it. So,
Just
stress
plug
free.
it back in.
And
I've learned how to fix it, so hey, there we go.
All right. Zoom, quit putting chats up.
Mr. Dave 69 joined us in the chat as well.
Oh, excellent.
Mr. Dave. All right, updates and acquisitions. Why don't we start with Rick?
Okay, I'm a good guinea pig. Let's see, where am I? So the whole snowmageddon thing got me to thinking about measuring snow with my CoCo, and I didn't really have time to invent anything. So instead, I came up with the scale. Where is my scale? It is in BMOD. Here we go. Here is my scale. It's metric, or even Americans can understand this. And here it is implemented in the front.
Love. That's
so. Let's see. We can go with. Here we go. I'll make this my my sort of.
So is it critical above the name tag?
You're starting to get there, and then by 11 inches, you really want to reset it. That's enough snow for anybody. Right now, we're just sort of at the LED holes that Bob has established as the minimum level, and we'll work our way up as the show goes on, or the snow goes on, whichever one. Let's see. Also, where'd my mouse went away? I have wood grain finish. Sometimes my mouse just decides to.
Sounds to me like you got a new lettering machine.
If you get above the case, you should add a multi-pack.
Yeah.
Right, that'll give us
apocalyptic snow, because the RQ lines aren't strapped.
If you reach XPAD, you've got a problem.
Exactly right. Exactly. So yeah, we'll check the snow level as the show goes on, because it's coming down pretty good. We'll see if we can get up to Transformer Top or something before the show's over. And then
you have that staged in your yard right now, real time?
Yes, I do. Here we go.
Yeah, I see snow. Yeah, it's live shot.
Here's the live shot, and yeah, we're like I say, we're just getting going good. It's just starting to ramp up to.
We'll make sure to check in at least one more time before the end of the show here and see what it's up to.
Yes, we should see copious flakes soon. So
you just send that live feed to your local weather channel.
Right.
Yeah, Weather Underground. That's a good website to post that information.
Hey, and it's CoCo related, so y'all can't
using retro computers
stay legit.
to do real time.
So
Tom
but
Eric Gunderson says he needed Cray 1 to measure what snow he has.
Oh, gee, yeah, the whole rack-mounted toll thing. We're up to the tape drawings, boys and girls.
And 60 says he's good with the Model 100 laid flat.
Oh, right. Well,
I would like to take this moment to thank my camera woman for holding the phone.
Thank you, camera woman.
Oh, they made it.
Yay.
I don't see much snow there, Frederic.
No,
Wow,
it's all melted.
And blue sky, too.
He's on the happy side of the snow line. Yeah.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
All right.
So anyway, back to the other things I was doing. I was working on my truck game. Remember, I was trying to make the aliens behave, and
yeah, how's that working out?
Here they are chasing each other and sort of getting together, and that was okay. But I was starting to have more information than I could track. So after a couple of alien attacks, I decided to keep track of the commands each one was running. So now the debugging is getting more complicated than writing the flipping program was. So it's becoming really fun. So I came up with this official debug sheet where I can track players' movements and the commands that they've executed. I think you can see I'm trying to do it by hand here. And I said, well, I'll just make this official. So I made that, which brings up the tool that's required to enter it, which I can't help but think of Mark's mom every time I do this now. So here's the little thing you lay across the sheet so you can enter every player's position as they do the game, and you slide it up and down so you know blah blah blah. Anyway, that resulted in my first actual bug found by this. Once someone becomes a leader, they just don't want to do anything anymore, and they hover there, which may be a comment on society, but
that's standard management practice.
In any case, I've got to fix the program so that it doesn't do that in this world. And then I guess one last thing I'd like to bring up. I'd mentioned I have a CoCo with a weird PIA. So on this keyboard, break key. Well, let's see. I guess we started with my key fix keyboard where the break key doesn't work. Replace the break key, that didn't fix anything. So I plugged in this original keyboard. Now the break key works, but the C key didn't work. So that didn't really fix anything. So I switched to a third original keyboard, and now the break key works, but control break doesn't work. And if I type L21, which is something you do a lot when you're editing BASIC, it's lists 21 lines. And I do that really quick. It'll come out L2121, which is really irritating as it tries to list 2,100 lines and scrolls slowly by. So, I mean, I've got to replace the PIA, but I think it's interesting the number of different ways a single PIA can mess up just based on very slightly different keyboards.
I thought you really can't get random on a CoCo.
Well, you can't. In fact, if I start the program, now that I'm doing this whole advanced tracking thing where I'm keeping track of every square that every player goes to and where they started from, if I just load the program and run it, every player starts in the same place every time. So I'm going to have to make some kind of check the system time or the player's name or something and do some kind of.
This is a basic 09 or regular basic?
Yeah, basic 09.
You can do the system call to get the a copy mem, and you can actually get the 1/60th of a second tick counter.
Oh, there we go. And that'll random.
Or throw in the level of the snow outside.
Because the way it comes, it's certainly not random. It is always, I always end up.
Yeah, the seed's always the same every time.
Yeah, it's the same seed. And so it doesn't matter when you load the program, how long it took you, what you did. As soon as you run the program, that's when the seed starts moving. And so, yeah, my debugs were always suspiciously familiar. And come to find out, I was always testing the same run every time, not different runs, like I had first assumed. So there was a nice thing to learn. In any case, here we are.
Is the input on the PIA, is that digital for the keyboard, or is that analog where it's just looking at change of voltage from 0 to 5?
It's supposedly analog, but like I say, this one's bad. It's just entertaining that it's bad in a way that tiny little differences in individual keyboards will make it act differently. I think that's really cool. I've actually left it in on purpose, kind of, since I can kind of get by with this keyboard that doesn't have control break. I can't get it debug, but
Yeah, I was just trying to in my head trying to understand how that, how it could be doing that. If it's just maybe if there's a bad trace or something like that that's causing a higher resistance or something.
well, that's what I first thought with the key fix. So I changed the switch out. No, that didn't fix anything.
Okay.
So I tried a different keyboard. Okay, that problem's gone, but here's a whole different problem. Okay, is that this keyboard? So I tried this keyboard. No, now both of those problems are gone, but now I've got a third kind of problem. And what really got me is the L21. So it's doing L2121. It's not just sequentially repeating buttons. It's repeating a series of buttons. So L2121. How does it do that? But it does. I can repeat it if we threw up the video capture and I list through a program pretty soon. It will.
All right.
Are you sure it's not just haunted?
Well, that could be.
Okay.
I just thought that was really interesting. That
almost sounds like a key bounce thing, like the old Tier City Model 1 had.
Exactly, but it does it. They're interlaced. It's not like L2211. It's 2121.
How much eggnog did you have at the time?
Well, no, I can repeat it pretty reliably, and you notice when it starts listing, and then because this is a really long program. And when it starts listing and it's listing and it's listing and it's listing, here it goes again. I can't stop it. I can't break it. That'll mess everything up. I just got to let it go. It scrolls and it scrolls and it scrolls.
Did you do that on Black Friday?
Well, for about the last 2 weeks until I finally figured out what the heck was going on.
Oh.
Because it's like, what did I do? I mean, L21, I don't even think that's something I just type. I want to get the next page of the listing, L21. And all of a sudden it would just scroll and scroll and scroll. And it took me a long time to figure out. Well, in fact, you up arrow to get do your last command and L2121. Well, I didn't type that for sure. It's just the two, In any case, enough of that.
Well, Rick, you actually got a couple questions in the chat here from David Lordy. Says, not switch chatter maybe? And does it matter how hard you strike the keys?
No, and in fact, it only happens with this PIA. So that's the mystery. What's up with this PIA? And since my backroom keyboard CoCo blew up due to an unfortunate mismanagement on my part, this is the only one I've got. I don't want to take it down to desolder and resolder a PIA at this moment. So I just found I've got two keyboards that I can switch between and do any possible combination of keys. If I have to get in debug, I can unplug this one and plug in this one and control break, and then I'm in debug mode.
Oh, so you need a keyboard Y cable.
There you go. Well, I just need to fix the dang PIA, but like you say, I don't want to stop working on my program to desolder, disassemble the CoCo. It's disassembled enough. It doesn't have a top on it. That's good enough. I got a little fan, two keyboards. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next up, let's do Richard.
Okay, okay, am I on now?
You're on.
Okay, so anyway, just give you an update. Let me see if I can get the shared screen here. Can you see my screen?
No.
Not yet.
Not so far. Just you.
I can see it in your glasses, man.
Oh, there we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, so anyway, this is the very first thing of I'm calling it the Titan X4 MPI. The X4 obviously is for 4 slots. And this is the layout. This is the one I'm sending out to the fabricators in China. This is just a beta board. I haven't put any of the LEDs in. I haven't done the cart modification yet because I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do that so that you can see a little open space right there. But this is going to be a 4-layer board. Over here is all the power. It's going to have a 12 volt. It's going to have 5 volt. That'll power the slots. this switch up here is an enable switch for the 12 volts. So if you don't need 12 volts or don't want to use it, you can actually switch it off and you won't have to worry about 12 volts at all. And I also took out the little connector here for the negative 12 and 12 volt right here. And I think on the next version that I'll do, next Veda version, I'll have a little area right here to where you can, if you need negative 12 volts, I mean, I'll have it right here and you could just get your own 12 volt, negative 12 volt supply. And see, what else do I have on here? And this is the top part of the board itself.
No, it isn't.
But if you zoom,
we just see a pattern right now.
Yeah.
If you zoom out of your design, do we see the other 12 slots?
Yeah, the David Ladd version.
Oh no, they're hidden. Sorry.
It connects to the Rolodex wheel, so you can flip the
And then this right here is the bottom view.
We've lost your views.
We're not seeing that.
We just have a pattern.
It's gray.
You know, shoot. I'm sorry. I don't.
Something broke.
Turning the wrong monitor or something? Maybe?
Second screen, yeah.
Is it there now?
No.
No, we're still looking at just a gray slash.
It's
diagonals.
like nighttime. If you turn the light on,
we see a mouse pointer, but nothing else.
Okay. Let me do this part. Okay, let's do share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Half and half.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's slowly drawing up.
We've got the broken thing on top of the thing you
This
want to
just
show
has
us.
green and blue.
Says
So
you're sharing.
You're sharing windows or something, and they're
really slow to paint.
Oh, is that really painting that?
It's paint from the bottom of the
top.
top.
That is
kind of
painting that slow. Holy smokes!
Okay.
Your bandwidth must suck right now.
Get rid of the 286, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to get that hamster to work a little harder.
Give him some yell.
Yeah, and I'm
some
gonna have to
coffee
get
or
rid of those
something.
little cups and the little string wire.
Yeah, do you have the IRQ strap option on
6309.
this, Richard? Or
not this one.
Not yet.
This is just basically getting the basic stuff working first.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it to working to make sure it works. And
Right.
like I said, this is the very first one. I don't even have LEDs on here. I was going to ask what kind of LEDs people want. Do they want indicators with slots being used, or obviously I'll have power indicators, but anything else, I'm up for suggestions on any of this. And like I said, it's going to be open source, so it'll be available. People can download it and put together their own copy of it, or the boards that I'll sell the board, the bare board. I'll sell one with the power already installed, because that's all surface mount, or you can buy a complete assembled kit. And like I said, there'd be several options.
Cool.
And yeah, this one this design I'm going to send off Monday, because I'm trying to get all my board orders combined together, because the tariff situation is still kind of crazy, because I have my final boomerang thing that I'm sending off as well. So
Is this a 512K boomerang or the 2 meg boomerang?
the 2 meg.
Cool.
Yeah, the 512 I have. I mean, I'm not going to do any 512 update. I still have like plenty of the old 512, design. I mean, and the only thing that I would change on it is just make it shape of a boomerang. I don't think really people care, and because I mean I'm selling them pretty cheap.
Just a gimmick. Just a gimmick.
Yeah, it's just a little gimmick. You're right. But I still have plenty of those, and also the SDCs. I still have a few left. I have about 20. I put together some more kits. I have about 20, a little over 20 left. So once they're gone, they're gone. I do sell them if you want a complete case, assembled and all that. I do that as well. But I have plenty of the kit format all ready to go.
I just need to point out something that you used the wrong word, and that word is gimmick. It should be marketing.
Oh, yes, marketing. Yes. Sorry.
Merchandising.
Genius as it were.
Merchandise. Yes.
Merchandising.
You're going to have a case for that?
For the MPI?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and now, will you have a traditional badge for it too?
I am working on that. I have ideas what I want to do, and I haven't gotten to that point yet. And on this beta board that I have, I don't have any mounting holes or anything. So I don't have a set, let's say, dimensions for the case yet.
So you don't
So
have
I'm not even at that point.
You're kind of at the alpha stage at this point, just making sure
Right.
the multi-pack works first. And
Right. So, I mean, basically what I did is I took the original design and then I implemented more gooder chips, as you might say. And the PAL gal is going to be the same one. I'm going to try to keep that the same.
Will it have the same feet as the CoCo?
It probably have about the same footprint. Probably it'll be smaller, of course.
No, what I mean is, the actual pads on the bottom of the.
Oh, if I can find them. I mean, because a lot of that stuff is hard to find these days. The actual
They make the
replacement.
rubber ones, like the CoCo one, and
Yeah, those are, like I said, they're kind of hard to find. And some people have suggested maybe I could do a drop-in replacement MPI for like the old 3024 to the 3124. And the problem with that is that the switch, the select switch, they don't make that anymore. They're very hard to find in a large size like that.
Oh, right.
So I just I'm like, well, won't be able to do it that way. It'd been cool, but it's just not practical. But
Right.
that's basically
Well,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the select switch never was practical. Even Tandy couldn't make it work right. Everyone's
Right.
complaining about how their C's up now. Got a silicone in it and everything. Good riddance.
Yeah, I found one that a large one, and yeah, it's a double throw 4-pole switch, and I found one. It's a small one, but it was the largest size that I could find. That was at least a decent price, because some of these switches were like $5-6 each. I mean, they were outrageous. And this one I found for about, I think it was 90 cents, something like that. And then I got a switch for the 12 volt. It's not an on-off switch for the 12 volt. The way I have the regulators is they have an enable. They monitor the 5-volt line from the CoCo. And once you turn off the CoCo, it will turn off all those power regulators. So you only, once you turn the CoCo off, the MPI turns off as well. It's like what Ed Snyder's Mega Mini
Nice.
MPIs would do.
cool.
So that was it for me.
It's a good one.
Yeah. And then we got the race between Brian and Frederic. Who's going to be up next?
Oh, go ahead, Brian. Unless
Okay.
you haven't finished cleaning up your desk.
Oh no, I was ready before before Richard came on. So yep. So let me know if that's what you want me to go.
Yeah. We already got you
Okay.
highlighted, so you're ready to
Oh,
go.
okay. I wasn't sure if it was just the audio highlight there. So
It
okay,
don't get no better than this.
right. Okay, let me go ahead and switch the camera here, and we'll start with the first thing that I want to share with you guys. Okay, let's see here. Let me go. Boom.
Oh,
So I
Time
got a-
Bandit. And the original
I got a-
Computer
anywhere
Shack,
it's
not
a
the
floppy.
Mitchtron.
Yeah, so I came across this one here, so I thought that was kind of neat. There was somebody here a few months ago that there's somebody a few months ago that they had a similar case. It was a green case, but it was a different program. I don't remember what it was, but it was a kind of a similar, this.
What a
The-
fancy
instead of the-
floppy
Yeah.
sleeve.
It's a vinyl
Yeah.
vinyl
I
sloppy
have one of those
floppy
too,
sleeve.
actually. It's what color is mine? I think it's blue or something.
Computer Shack?
It is a Computer Shack one.
Okay.
I just can't remember which game it was for.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat. Just I love this type of stuff. It's kind of neat. The old, the vinyl, the old printing like this and stuff. And
Yeah.
it was
Do
just neat.
you have any of the Tom Mix ones which has that folding vinyl?
I might have a couple of those. Yeah,
Because held the disc on one side, then a little sheet of like is it Mylar plastic or something? The clear one that the directions would be slid into, and you kind of open up as a gatefold.
I might have one of those, but yeah, I don't recall right off the top of my head. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. I mean, Time Bandit. I mean, we've heard of that game.
Yeah,
but,
that's a classic. That's one of the best early games.
So anyway, there's that. Okay, the next thing I want to show you guys here. Let me hit the right button here for the camera. Okay, so James Jones and I, we've been in contact here almost on a daily basis. We're working on a couple projects together. But I was down in his neck of the woods here a few weeks ago, and he had some items for me. And one of the items here, let me slide it out of the sleeve here, and I'm going to make a little bit of a guessing game on it. I don't know the year of this. Maybe we'll be able to figure this out together. But he had this picture from a CoCoFEST from long ago. And
I reckon it's people: John Strong, Brother Jeremy, Alan Huffman.
Yep.
Mark
So I thought maybe we could kind of go around.
Steve Bjork.
So I thought maybe we could kind of go around here. So, oops, the shadow's kind of coming in here a little bit. I thought maybe we'd start right here. Is this coming through a little bit there? There we go.
That's better.
Yeah, it's Alan.
Yep.
Yeah, and Richard Ivey, I think, behind him, looks like.
Yep. So here's Alan right here, and then he's
Isn't that
still
Richard?
yeah, Richard. Yeah, he's still active on in the meetings here. And
something
should
Berg, Mossberg. No, what? No, it's not.
Should I zoom in just a little bit here? Maybe that'll help, and I'll kind of move the picture around.
And Tony Pedraz in the lower right corner, isn't that?
Yep, this is Tony right here. So here's Tony.
Huh?
Tony's right here, and then Alan Huffman, Richard. I know this guy's familiar. I've seen him.
He's at the fest usually.
Yep. I don't know about this guy in the background here.
I kind of recognize his face, but I didn't see him too often.
And let's see here. Then we'll move over to the guy here in the gray shirt here. Does anybody recognize him?
Is it Mike Knudsen? I'm not sure.
How about the guy here in the background there with the dark hair?
I've seen him a couple times, but not in a long time.
Okay.
The front row, of course, is Mark Marlette.
Right. Yeah, I was going to kind of go around and come back around here. So here's George. Yep, here's George.
Yep, George.
Who passed away a few years back. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
William Astle with the mustache.
Oh, back here. Yeah, okay. And then I'm trying to remember this guy's name. He had the table right. Yeah, he's in the meetings, and he's right across. His table's right across from me this last year. I wish I could remember his name. I feel bad.
Yeah, I'm going to feel bad too because I'm going to be blank.
Blank here. So not sure her
arrow
name.
point to the guy with the name.
Yeah, but it just says RE. I don't know I can't remember what RE stands for. I'm not sure who the lady is here. And then the guy right here in the background here. I'm not sure here. So and then here's what's his name? Is that from Hawksoft? No, that's not.
No,
that's
it's not
him.
Chris.
That's,
it's this guy who has all the movie stuff and things.
His wife just passed away here not too long ago here, I think. Here, so
he's also the one that brought the first electric car I ever saw to the 2000 Penn Fest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, text his name. He's a regular CoCoFEST in Chicago.
Yeah, and he's also in the meeting.
Carol?
I should remember their names because I write their names down every day after the dark meeting, and my brain's just going blank here.
That's Eddie Kuntz, isn't it?
Okay, and who's kind of poking his head up from behind the
John Mark Mobley.
Okay, and not sure who this lady here is.
I don't recognize her.
Yeah, and the gentleman in the back here.
Oh, he's been at CoCoFEST Chicago a few times too. That's his name.
Here's John. John Linville.
John Linville, yeah.
Yep. And
Swogger. Bob Swogger is also passed away.
Yep. Not sure who this is.
Yeah, Boise Pete behind there, I think.
Is that is this Boise poking it? Is this Boise poking his head out right
I think
here?
that's Boise. John Strong beside
Yep.
him.
Yeah, John Strong, and I think this is Chris Hawk back here.
That might be.
Yeah.
Chris is pretty tall though, so
That's the shortest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
And then this is
James Jones.
This is James on the end here. So I'll come around here to the front. So here's brother Jeremy that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The guy in the front here.
Steve Bjork, of course.
That's Bjork.
Yep. Steve. Yep. That's Bjork. Yep. Yep. And then looks like a B. Like, is it Brendan?
Brad?
Something?
Brad?
I'm not sure. The lady in the front here. In the blue shirt.
He's on meetings too, pretty regularly. And he still attends CoCoFEST Chicago.
Okay. And then this would be Tony's
That's
wife.
Linda Pedraza. That's
Yep.
Tony's wife. Yeah.
The black
Oh,
shirt
I should
here.
know his name. He's at it every year too, just about. Yeah, blanket. Mark Marlette, of course.
Mark Marlette. And
is that George
last name.
Schweiss? Not sure if that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, any guesses about what time frame this might be? Anybody? I don't know.
Well, there's a few people in there that have passed away, so we can kind of backtrack a few years at least.
But
when was the last time Brother Jeremy was in States?
The CoCoFEST in 2016, I think.
Okay.
Okay, but Steve Bjork hadn't been there in a while when he was there in 2018.
No, this is earlier than that. I'm just trying to. Is this Chicago
Yeah.
CoCoFEST or is this Atlanta?
No, this has got to be Atlanta from the wallpaper.
Yeah, because this isn't the is this the walls of what was at the hotel prior that we used to go to and the carpet on the floor? I can't
I would
remember.
say this would be early
really-
2010s or late 2000s, maybe 2000
Yeah.
or maybe even
Yeah,
earlier. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I can't quite read the the I can't
badges?
quite read the badge there to see if there's anything on the badge that would say something. But
You could try putting your, like if the picture's good quality, you could try putting your phone over it and then just pinch zoom the,
zoom in and see if it does anything.
see if
there.
you can read it.
Oh, there you go.
I can try that real quick here.
Enhance.
Enhance, right?
I assume this is not digitally printed, but it's photograph, wet
Yeah,
process.
if it's a real photo, you should be able to. If it's digit printed, you probably can't.
Well, the thing is that a lot of times when they process it, they actually put information on the back of the picture, like when it was processed.
Oh, I mean the back of the actual photo itself on the backside paper.
Yeah, on the backside of the paper, yeah.
Yeah. Depends how long they
Yeah.
left the film there.
Yeah, I'm zooming in. I just don't see anything there that it looks like a date.
Does it? What is Steve Bjork's neck thing actually hit the lanyard say?
Yeah, it looks like E-Tech.
David Lurch, there's a lot of graffiti on that wall.
Yeah, all I can make out is the E-Tech right there. That's all I can really see there. Everything else is kind of fuzzy.
How about John Strong's shirt? Sometimes he wore a shirt that was appropriate for that particular fest.
Let's see.
Oh, right. 2000. Yeah.
It says OS9 on it. TE.
Well, Team OS9.
Yeah, Team OS9. That's his name badge. Yeah, I just don't see anything in there that looks like a date. Let's see here. Let's see here. Just about. Let's see here.
Didn't they have one fest in Des Moines too?
I don't know.
I know some Pacific Northwest ones for a few years, but I don't think all those people would have been at that.
Ooh, I think I might have something here in a second. I'm gonna try to. I need to hold my phone a little different here. Come on.
Don't forget to stick your tongue out just right.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Right.
I'm trying.
There's a badge. What's the
Stand up
pattern?
and focus.
I'm standing on one foot with my tongue outside of my.
David Lurch says break out the flatbed scanner.
I mean, you could take a photo of it and then just put it in the
Yeah,
Zoom
I can't.
chat here. We can take a look at it too.
Yeah, just trying to. It won't quite. I'll try to see
J.E.
if I can-
Jones says the DSM CoCo Club held it.
DSM.
Oh, what? Oh, is that what James is saying?
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
the Des Moines Cocoa Club or something? I don't know what DSM stands for.
DSM would be Des Moines. That's the abbreviation for Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The S threw me off.
Yeah, when I try to zoom the picture, it blurs on me there. So
Terry Simons led it, says Janet.
anyway, so I thought it was kind of so I was gonna what I thought about doing here is getting this framed and
That
then
might be
bringing it.
if it's a Des Moines, that might be the very late 90s or the early 2000s and earlier than I thought.
So I thought about getting this getting this mounted into a frame and bringing it to CoCoFEST every year. I think there's a lot of people that would probably appreciate that and get a kick out of seeing the picture there. So, and then we'll go from there. And lastly, here's one other picture here too of this was behind the picture, brother Jeremy there. So he's just kind of peering out there with one eye.
In full monk regalia.
Right. I was trying to picture some of this hardware that he's got going on here because there's looks like a case that's open, but then there's some wing nuts right here.
That might be some of the stuff he picked up from Microware because he had some of the original networking cards that they were prototyping.
The wing nuts thing was the Corvus card that you stuck twin lead in instead of coax. And the wing nuts clamped down like an old TV.
So those might be the CoCos that had the prototype gimmies in them with the little cross over them.
Oh, okay.
Be my guess.
So, but anyway, so there's that. If you guys have time, I have a few more things I could show you if you want. It's just
go for it.
Little more memory lane stuff here. Let me
David Lloyd says scan it, get in the archive.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you have a high res scanner, like somebody was mentioning 600 DPI scans, then you can actually probably read the text unless the camera blurred it out itself.
So on eBay, I was kind of scrolling a little bit. I came across this listing, and
Brian, you were on eBay? No,
I know. Once a month, I just kind of hop on there and see what's going on. There. Anyway,
purchase the whole month's worth of stuff, and then away you go.
And there was just this random set of stuff there, and I was kind of scrolling through the picture or scrolling through the postings there, and this was in the picture.
That's James.
Or
and that's CoCoFEST Chicago, I'm pretty darn sure.
Yes. Yep. And so it's like, well, wait a minute, what is this stuff? Because it was just it looked like some other newsletters and things like that. And so, so yeah, this clearly looks like a CoCo. You can see that this is a fest here. You can see the tables and everything. And it's like, wait a minute, what is this? Why is this picture of James? And so him and I were chatting a little bit, and he's like, I don't know what that's from, because I took a couple screenshots and sent it to him. And him and I were kind of going back and forth a little bit. And it's like, Well, and then the other part that was interesting is that on some of these things I'm going to show you here in a minute, the mailing label had James's name on it. And
isn't that an OS9 shirt?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. And so James is like, because he's trying to remember if he would have given some stuff to somebody, but nothing, we haven't been able to piece the puzzle together. Now, this stuff did ship from Des Moines where he lives. So somebody somewhere along the line came across some of this stuff, and I'll show you here right now. Let me back the camera off just a little bit here. So some of the things that were in here, and some of the stuff you guys have probably seen before. So here's Pipelines, which was a Microware.
Yeah, Microware's own internal newsletter. We had a few of those.
Yep. So this was in there, and there was a couple issues of that in here. This Pipelines here. This is actually a gateway computer, but they always had like company information and stuff like that. You'll see some pictures in here of some people that.
Yeah, because this is when they're doing CDI, CD Interactive, which is the Philips Signetic CD player that was an interactive gaming or encyclopedia or whatever, and that's actually kind of what the M1 chipset was based on, if I remember.
Right. Yep. So here's like Ken Kaplan.
Yeah.
Yep. And some of the other people that were there. I was rattling off some of these names to James, and he was certainly remembering some of these folks from back in the day. So yeah, so those are in there. Also, there was this Microware Systems Dependable Intelligence for the Smart Products there, and this is just like this would be like a
brochure.
Like a brochure or something they would have handed out like at a at a
that looks like an annual statement.
Oh yeah, annual statement. I'm sorry. Yes, you're correct. I thought that's what this was. Yeah, this is one of their annual statements. Forgive me. Yep. There was another thing in here I was going to mention that about then. So yeah, this is one of their annual statements. So this would have been, yeah, this would have been, yeah, annual report 96. So yep. So here's a
So 3 years
Motorola.
ago.
Yeah, Motorola MC6802 benchmark report.
Well, 68020.
That was in there. And then there was a handful of the CoCo 123, which was the Glenside publication.
Yep.
So there was a handful of these that were in here. So
you see a lot of the From the President's Platinum will be written by Mr. Tony Pedrezza.
Yep.
Yeah, look at the condition. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's also in the stack here, again, these are all out on the archive here, but there was some copies of the 68 micros, and this is actually, so here's actually volume 1, number 1. And
yeah, that was Frank Swigert who did that as one of the continuing publications after Rainbow went bye-bye.
Okay, and here's volume 3 and volume 5 here. So like the first couple issues there of the 68 micro, but yeah, I covered the Tandy Color Computer OS9 and OSK.
Yeah, I subscribed to that one myself, and I think I'm trying to remember, ran about 5 years. And then Frank was getting out of it, and he was going to pass it on somebody else, so he passed it on, but I don't think that person published anything.
Died quickly, yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work making your own magazine, mailing out to everybody.
Oh, I'm sure. And
just
then, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just a column was a lot of work. You'll notice on.
Yeah, you were one of the columnists there.
Right there in blue and black. Black and blue. That's
yeah, actually, you can see Rick Hewland there about 6 down from the top on the contents.
It beats you up, you know. You got to come up with something every month, and then Frank had to put all of this together every month. It was just
beginning with OS9 by Rick Hewland right here. Yep.
Richard Baer, there's that name. I was trying to remember one of the guys in the photo too.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, Baer. Yep. Hey,
that's look,
right.
Coco Man's in there too. Jason Reichert. 3rd or 4th from the top.
All of your suspects, yeah.
Ooh. Now, how did Jason get farther up on the thing than you did, Rick? What's going on there, huh?
I'm just a regular columnist.
I think they did young people first or something. No, I don't know. And even his brother Ken is further down there, about halfway down, just past halfway.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Yep. So a couple issues of that, and then there was this here.
Now, just out of curiosity, the mailing label on the bottom, does that say James Jones?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his old letter or his old address there. So
how much is a stamp?
75 cents. And then also there was this other newsletter here, this OS9 newsletter.
Message of the Day. That was the OS9 users group that Kevin Darling and a bunch of others were involved with.
So this year was I think was this the first issue? I think volume 1, number 1, and it looks like president was Boise Pete, and then vice president was Carl Creeder. Secretary was Steve McGee. Librarian was Alan Sheltra.
Yeah, I think. OS9 Underground magazine guy.
And then Scott was also the editor there. So, but yeah, there's a handful of issues of this here as well. And you can kind of see how they.
I've got a couple of those, but I've got more of the ones, the later ones, like you're showing there, the colored.
I'm wearing my period correct shirt.
I don't know. I haven't gone to look yet to see if this was out on the archive or not, if these were out there or anybody. I don't know.
I think at least some of them are. I don't know how complete that list is, though. So if you have any that aren't up there, feel free to scan them and send them up.
Is it message of the day? What does the M stand for?
Yeah, that's what it stands for, message of the day.
And in fact, OS9 will do that if you put a
turn it on.
Yeah, if you have an MOTD file and you actually use the login command in TSMon or MTSMon to log in from a terminal or something, when you successfully put in username and password, there's a message of the day, little text file, and it'll print that automatically on the screen when the guy logs in.
Okay. And then here's some minutes from the OS9 users group meeting. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Is that focusing there a little bit there? Maybe not quite.
As exciting as you might imagine, right?
And then here's another newsletter here. It was UpTime.
Oh yeah,
I do remember that one too. Yep.
Yeah.
So a few issues of that here.
Yeah, you're right. OS9 Underground was Scott Griepentrog, wasn't it? And Uptime
Yeah,
was
I think so.
Talent
And
Shelter.
then-
I think I got those two mixed up.
And then this one here was kind of interesting. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name there. Maybe you guys can help me with it.
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. Okay.
The very first issue of this was called No Name Magazine because Mark Griffith had a little contest for people to name it.
Oh, okay. Okay. But it looks like it's for OS for the CoCo, OS9, OSK community.
One of the issues, this one only lasted, I think, like 9 issues. But one of the issues has Alan DeCock actually reviewing Nitrous 9 when it was still a commercial product, and he was quite praising. And then he ended up being on the team and doing most of the work after that. So.
And then here's kind of this looks like a software listing for a company called the Blackhawk Enterprises, public domain software library.
Blackhawk was the guys that sold the M1 after IMS got out of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I remember their name. That's probably where.
And then
I think they
here's
sold
something-
like the MM1B, and they might have done the 68302 upgrade and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hey,
And then
Curtis.
here's a. Oh, go ahead.
Wayne Campbell says OS9 Underground was Alan Sheltra.
Sheltra. Yeah, okay. That's...
Continue, Ryan.
Okay. And then here's one here. It's this is a text file. It's a 6309 text, a memo of secret features of the 6309.
That's the 1992 publication from Japan that somebody posted on the list because they discovered this on the FM777 machines when they substituted this chip in. And I think they had some inside talking with Hitachi. And that was the first public exposure of what the 6309 could do in North America, because up to then we just thought it was a lower power version that also had 3 megahertz and ran cooler.
Yeah, so
How
this is
many
like a
here still have a copy of that printout?
I do. It's actually if you hunt around in the EOU, I think I have a copy of it hidden in there somewhere too.
Okay. And then, so I'm not sure what this one here is because it's all in Chinese, but I do pick out the 63C09 there. So,
that might have been the Fujitsu OFM magazine because that's where they first published all the 639 stuff.
Before the translation that we got?
Yeah, years before, like 88, 89 or something like that.
Hey, Curtis.
Yep.
Joe Labacoco says, yes, Blackhawk was David Graham. They were a distributor for IMS and then bought the MM1.
Yeah, and David is still active on the Facebook group. He was actually just asking about video drivers and stuff just this last month, so he's still around. We should get him on the show to talk about Blackhawk, actually.
Yes, should get him on the CoCo 4 show.
Here's some sort of a microware KK news. I don't know, something from 91, just a simple, looks like it's a copy. I'm not sure. It's kind of cut off at the top there. And then I'm not sure what this is here. I haven't looked at this one very closely. UltraC release notes.
Yeah, UltraC was for OS 9000. No, UltraC was the high-end OSK one, wasn't it? And then OS 9000 for both, I think.
Yes, I believe so, because I've got the release for OS 9000. Is it OS 9000?
And I'm trying to remember, was UltraC C++ or was that the old C, like the modified C? I can't remember now. I think you have the manuals actually, Rick. I think you showed them before.
Yeah, I'm digging out the box set now to see what references it's got. It's a 3-box set, so it's quite the seat.
Yeah, we had them at work for a couple of years, but we never managed to use it because by that time the multitasking on Windows was finally becoming useful.
Okay, so this one is for the 68,000, so they did that, which means it no doubt showed up on the OSK on the
OS 9000. So this was what would have been the one they did for OSK and OS 9000, and then the C++ I think was OS 9000 only, if I remember.
That would make
James
sense.
can probably correct me on that. Oh wait, James actually saying right in there. He said UltraC was C89 compliant. There was also C++. So yes.
Okay. And then the last stuff that was in there, and I always find these kind of cool. And I have some of these already, but I don't have obviously a full collection yet. So this will actually add to it. So back when they used to do the CoCoFEST, they had these nice little handouts that they did.
Yeah, I have that exact one myself.
So this is from the second annual last CoCoFEST. So that was the second one. Here's one from the third annual. And this one here would be from the 5th annual and 8th annual. there's that one. And let's see here. What's this one here? This is the Middle America Fest 93. MidIowa and
yeah, that's the one Terry Simons ran, I think.
Okay.
So that picture might be from that time.
It might be, yeah, because this says the Travel Lodge in Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, so this would have been 93. Carl Bull, VP Glenside, and Terry Simmons, MICC. And they're going to go through the seminars. So you'll have to read through this a little bit more and see.
I don't remember how many years that one ran, but if it was only the 1 year, that's when the picture's from.
Okay.
It might have ran a couple years. James hopefully remembers better than I do because it's right in his backyard. I never made it to that show.
And then here's the second annual Atlanta CoCoFEST.
Yeah, that one ran for multiple years. That was Alan Dages used to run that, I think, for the most part. Might be remembering that wrong. There's your Delmar commercial there, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The System 4 in that case.
Puny little System 4.
Yeah, 68,000.
Puny little system there. So then one last thing I'll say, back to this picture here that kind of started all this. So I reached out to the seller and I said, can you give me any information about where you got this from? And all he said is he goes, he said that, and this is the funny little story. He said that he buys a lot of his stuff at estate sales, and that he got this stuff from an estate sale in Des Moines. And he goes, "There's a picture of the person that probably had the stuff," and he was referring to James.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's his estate.
And I said no. I said that person is very much alive. I said I speak to him on a daily basis. So so no. So we're still a bit of a mystery where this all kind of came from and everything, but. No, it's a nice little archive of information there to thumb through and stuff like that. So anyway, but that's all I got, guys, as far as the little walk down memory lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of those guides for the fests are actually on the archive. I know some are, but because I think I've scanned one or two of mine, but I'm missing a bunch of the ones during a move or something. I lost a whole bunch of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got about 8 or 10 of them. I think more of the latter. So these will. I don't have very many of the early ones. So
we're gonna have to hire Brian an assistant to get all this work done.
Yeah,
a full-time job in archiving here.
He keeps adding stuff, so he keeps getting further behind.
I know.
Archiving.
I'll have to. Hopefully, I'll either win the Powerball or maybe I'll get offered an early retirement. Then I'll have plenty of time, I guess.
All right.
So, but that's all I got for you guys today.
And James Jones says that show, the Midwest one, only happened once. So that is the year that picture was taken. 93.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. Pieced it together.
Mystery solved.
Okay.
I see we have some other panelists joining us too. Welcome to Grant Leedy and Nick Marentes.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hello, hello.
Hey, guy.
Wasn't Nick? Wasn't he involved with the Atlanta one?
No, he's involved with PenFest.
PenFest. That's right. Sorry. Thank you.
All right. We got Frederic up next.
All right.
Before we get to Frederic,
yes.
Grant, are you on to do any announcements about the fest or anything? Or
just let you guys know, things are happening in the background, so be expecting announcements in the very, very near future. So just a couple things, I guess I'll just announce off the top of the head. So the food has pretty much been settled. We're doing an Italian buffet for next year, roughly $42 per person this year, so a little bit cheaper than last year. The important dates to keep in mind is registration will be opening around the January, the weekend after the 15th. I don't have a calendar here in front of me. So I think it's the 17th. Correct me if I'm wrong, that Saturday, the 17th. Somebody help me out there.
The weekend after which January date?
The 15th.
Yeah, 17th is a Saturday.
17th and 18th, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the weekend we're looking at right now. So depending on Randy, if he can have everything up and running, that's the weekend we are looking to open up table registrations. So, and The other thing too is I am starting to look for people who want to give presentations. We probably are not going to have as many presentations this year as we did last year, because I think a lot of people were presentationed out as we came through Saturday. Plus, we like to give Randy a little break as well. So if you are wanting to give a presentation, reach out to me, and we'll get you on the list for that. And
We also have the virtual fest that Mark Oberholzer is organizing in January too. That might take care of some of them as well.
Correct. Yep. And I think if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be a prioritized for people who cannot bring their projects to the fest, or for people who are not going to the fest. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the idea. So luckily, there's plenty of room still. I've only had 2 people, and 2 others mentioned that they probably will do something. So
yeah, but if it's like everything else, everybody will
wait till the last minute.
Last minute,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
It's tradition.
And realize I want to warm up for my fest show. I should do that now.
So you got your Oceanite shirt on now too, Rick.
Oh yeah, I kicked off real time.
And I'll be reaching out to Ron DeVoe. Actually,
Yeah.
he's here right now. So, Ron, if you would be
I will.
more than
I'll
happy
do
to.
something.
And I was thinking maybe we could do revive the CoCo Cat.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of the CoCo 3.
So maybe we can do the CoCo 3 with the CoCo Cat.
It's
So,
a broken tail CoCo Cat. Yeah.
yeah,
Figure
that's
something out.
Is there any
that'd be-
trademark
that'd be
restrictions
cool.
there?
That'd be great. I don't
So-
think anybody's going to complain about that. I think everybody with the CoCo
I don't even know where the Rainbow IP went if they had a trademark.
Right. The ghost of Lonnie's going to sue you.
Yeah.
So, Grant, I have a question about CoCoFest. Is
Yeah.
Taylor Swift going to be there?
No, she's too busy, planning for the wedding. So,
Oh, okay.
sorry, that's not going to
Taylor
happen.
Swift.
Why would she come up at all?
Well, because Grant is a big Kansas City fan, and of course, Taylor Swift.
Now he's a Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, but the
Swiftie.
Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. Just make that known.
Yeah, well, they bought the referees though last year. So
And they lost to the Cowboys. How could you lose to the Cowboys?
they also bought the referees
That's
too.
all right.
They
We're
bought
still
the
in the playoffs.
So, hey, by the way, Ron, are you going to the CoCoFest next year?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let
I
me know.
really don't know. It's too early to tell.
All right, cool. All right, and there's something else I was going to say too, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, so things are going on. Oh, the other thing too, table prices are going to stay the same as they did last year, so no increases. So.
Oh, and Mark B,
Yeah.
because we did such a good job, we got volunteered already again to do the auction again this year. So I'm
Okay,
being
cool.
told
Oh,
a little
sweet.
a little mouse told me that we did such a good job that we're gonna get
Yeah,
recruited again. So
They got the franchise tag on you guys. So.
Well, at least we can identify what most of it is.
Right.
Yeah. So send all auction ear items up to Brian's house and everything. So.
Yep.
Well, maybe not to Brian's. It might get lost.
Yeah, they
up
might
there.
stay there permanently. It might never get to the auction. So.
Yeah. That's, I
I
forgot.
thought
about
it was
that.
in warehouse 4, but I just don't know.
right.
So, any other questions or concerns or anything else? Because, like I said, things are going to start moving here pretty quickly here. Because a lot of you guys probably did not know, but I've been MIA because I had a shoulder replacement surgery here last month. So,
What replacement?
Shoulder
Shoulder.
replacement.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't show.
We didn't know you were a quarterback.
Yeah. So
Did you get injured, or was it a gradual thing that just been happening for you?
well, if you may remember, I had a shoulder cuff repairment that failed, so they did.
So they just
It comes from
replacement.
tackling tornadoes.
so it's like a metal ball or something. What does that even mean?
Yeah. So they put a metal ball in there. It's like it's a hip replacement, except it's for a shoulder.
It's
So
a shoulder. Okay.
yeah, exactly. So
So you're gonna have trouble going through airports now, setting off the detector.
Yeah.
I already,
You got a gun in you.
Yeah, I already did because I had the hip replaced. So, and unfortunately, I got to do the other shoulder here probably
Oh,
next
Jesus.
year. Yeah, so I'm gonna become the
Bionic
300.
man.
You're gonna be
Man,
Darth
You're gonna be
Vader
bionic by
pretty
the end of
soon.
this, yeah.
Now he's going to be Grant Weighty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wait.
So-
But Grant was kind of joking around about sending donations to me though. But if anybody does have any donations, just reach out to any of the folks, any of us on the Glen side, president, vice president, just send us an email and we'll work out arrangements for receiving the items. If anybody does want to
And
donate
anything that Brian
anything-
doesn't already have, it just goes straight to him. So
Yeah.
Right.
And do keep in mind too that the club does reimburse shipping. So if you do need to ship something, we do reimburse shipping. So that's not a problem. So.
Yep, we're always looking for donations.
And Brian is not allowed to get any CoCo 3s, by the way. So he is.
I'll be eyeballing.
Yeah. Well, how many CoCo 3s do you have already? There's a limit in the.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
These are and you've exceeded your footage.
These are untouched.
I'm sure you have untouched ones already. So.
Actually, I do not. Actually, I do not have a new inbox. So I have good condition inbox, but I do not have a new inbox.
Okay, so every new one you get, you got to sell one.
Now, mind you've got 40 of those, slightly used inbox.
No. Maybe for every one that he buys that's new in box, he's got to release 40 used ones.
Oh,
actually, I sold 3 of them here not too long ago. I sold 3 CoCo 3s here 3 months ago. So,
yeah, we covered one of them on was it Brian Blake's blog that he was repairing it, or somebody was?
Yep.
He did about 300 a piece, or what?
How much are they selling for?
I sold mine they were all less than $150.
Really?
But they were non-working CoCo 3s. So
they're parts only type of thing.
Complete
okay.
not working.
They needed some kind of repair, and Mr. Blake's there. I mean, he did a really nice discovery job on it because it would boot up, but it would just be a green screen. And he actually ended up finding the socket that the gimme goes into. There was a couple broken pins, so that was a nice find on him. And once he got that repaired, then it was working. So and then a few other, and then there was several other people, names that you guys would recognize in the community that also bought the 3s. So I'm glad to see them go to good homes and get repaired
and get fixed up and stuff. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome. But seriously, this is probably a good time to start going through your collections and your closets and stuff like that. And, whatever you don't need to keep anymore, just be a good time to maybe put into a pile and donate to the club and so forth like that. So goes for a good cause. So keeps us going for the next year for the CoCoFEST and so forth like that. So.
And if you're finicky about your taxes, we can get you a receipt.
Yeah, that's true. Nice. It is tax deductible. So.
Yep. So.
Cool. Well, thanks for the update. I know you guys already have the hotels where you can use the code to get the discount and stuff ready, correct?
Yep, that is correct. So, and like I said, after the club meeting here in the second week in December on Thursday, be looking for a post because that's when I'll finalize everything with the club, and then I'll be posting everything, and then things will start moving here pretty quickly. So that's when I'll start getting pretty busy myself. So.
Yep.
So
I'll make sure I bring plenty of coffee.
So do you think we should have something nailed down for what we're going to put on that thing for shirts and advertising, so that by the time January comes and the table starts selling, you can have something, or what?
What do you mean? I'm sorry. As far as
logo
t-shirts?
Guy needs the logo.
The logo with the cat
logo theme.
The anniversary.
What's the theme this year? Yeah,
the theme that should all be done like in December.
Ron wants to start drawing.
We have something for the website, and it's already established what the next theme is and all that.
Yeah, if you want to have that by the next meeting, that'd be great.
So do I work with you and Mr. Brain, or who?
So yeah. Just send it to me and Brain, and then we'll present it to the meeting, and then we'll go from there. Brain will probably be the one you'll need to work with on the badges, because he's the one that's always make sure everything fits on the perfectly on that. But yeah,
I've already got set. It's just a matter of putting different text on it or art.
No problem. And which reminds me, I still gotta get last year's mailed out to you, so I'll get that mailed out. Yeah, I keep on forgetting about it. It's always right here in the corner, and I always forget it done. But now that
behind the Northern Lights there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll get that mailed out.
They'll probably have a charge on them now.
Yeah, exactly. So you might get a little early Christmas gift from me.
Nice.
So, all right, cool. But yeah, we'll touch base a little bit about that, Ron. So
good.
But yeah, we'll get that set up. All right. Any other questions, concerns, or?
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Awesome. That's all I have.
Thank you for your work.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks.
I haven't put any work in yet, but get ready. I'll be putting in a lot of work here. So. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hope everybody had happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago. Yeah.
We don't care about you Canadians.
We'll start saving now for that Italian dinner.
Yeah.
we didn't want to eat turkey during a blizzard. That was the whole reason we did that.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'll be snow chasing come Monday. So.
Hey, well, thanks, Grant. And I think we're back to Frederic, right?
Yes, that's correct. Well, last week I was just driving around and I saw this, what do you call them? Value Village type of thing. Thrift shops.
Thrift shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you call them over there? There's one in particular which is pretty popular.
Flea market.
Goodwill.
Goodwill.
It's Goodwill. Yeah, the one Ron always gets those super deals at.
Yeah. Ours, at least here in Quebec, they don't have much electronics, but I was really surprised when I found this little thing filled with diskettes.
Whoa,
cool.
Awesome.
3.5.
Yeah, so mostly drivers and some files. And well, I saw something that caught my eyes, and I really had to find out if I can convert it. Would be, this one. I don't know if you can see. ORCAD.
ORCAD.
I wonder if there's a nice design on it.
Interesting. I like your software security 80s style.
Yeah.
The key switch on the front of the floppy case.
Yeah.
So I also found, I went to another one right beside it, another thrift shop, and I found this little, actually was the same one. The other one is something else. New in box, still with its wrapper. And okay, I paid a bit too much for it. It was like $6.99 or $6.40. Yeah, $6.50.
It was labeled
But
$6.49.
hey, it's
double density.
That's almost what
and
they
that's
call
actual double
new.
density. Those that work on a CoCo. So
It's got 90s air in there.
and also the other one that I went to was actually I found a Gravis key joystick.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it works, but if it works, hey, good.
now he'll be taking on the Game On challenge.
Yeah, I
Right.
just need to convert
PC.
Is there
Game port?
a
Yeah.
PC to the standard?
I'm sure
joystick?
someone's done it. That's a standard game port.
Yeah,
So,
Coco Man
Oh, yeah.
didn't do it,
someone
So
did it.
last week, this week actually, not last week. That was last week, and this I'm getting all the acquisitions off the table. I designed during the pandemic UVC station to cleanse our VR gear back then, and they were throwing out the boxes, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute! There's there's some stuff that I designed, and that was this little board, and I can get
Turn it so we can read it.
Yeah, I could probably get the microcontroller that's on it, which is an AT-Tiny 85, and a few other components. I don't know if I can reuse it for something else. Basically, it's a timer. Well, you press the. I got this back also, which is the Adafruit LED light. It's an LED ring light on it, and it's got its RGB, and it's actually quite expensive compared to standard buttons. It's also
just a light, or is it a button also?
It's a switch.
button.
Switch.
Yeah.
That's pretty starting.
And RGB, so you can do all kinds of complex things
Yes.
with your button, right?
Yeah, and that's what I did with that one. I made it glow and just fade in, fade out, and basically this little thing controlled the door. So if you had it open, it shuts down the UVC light because UVC is not necessarily the best one you want to have in your eyes. And there's a timer on it, so just enough time. Because I have also a UVC meter, so I calculated according to the throughput of the light that was shining, how much time did I need to disinfect, in theory. That one was longer than the big box I did a long time ago because there's a difference between UVC LEDs and UVC neons, about 1,000-fold. But big difference. So that's what I got back. What else do I have? Nothing. Okay. I managed to get 4. They threw the other 8 before I went in there, so unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, well.
parts.
So now to my project. You remember when I talked about the PLDs last time? Well, I've been still scratching my head on the registered logic of it all, because there's a few little things that I wanted to do, and I wasn't satisfied, and I kept redoing stuff, and there is a question in there that I'm going to ask you all eventually. But so I told you guys last time that I had 5 PLDs. Now I managed to bring it down to 4. I managed to squeeze out all the macro cells that I could get out of them, and all the product terms and everything. So I managed to do one is dedicated to CPU speed select. So basically, if I go to the screen, do you see it?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Schematic.
And schematic. So basically, this one here, all it does is receive from when you address, like the speed poke, basically, the high speed poke. Well, this one you just give it an address from D0 to not an address, but a data from a 4-bit information that's on D0 and D1. And you can go from your native speed, the maximum clock speed, which would be a pass through. Let me see. I have here a little speed chart. So if you select 1, or basically 3, well, you get your turbo speed depending on the crystal you have. If I start at 12 megahertz, then I get a CPU that runs at 3, right? The bottom line. If I have a 16 megahertz crystal, then it's 4, 25, and that's I'm yellow lining it right now. 5 would be the limit. But I said, hey, if I find a nice little heatsink with active cooling on it, maybe I could push it to 6 megahertz. But who's dreaming now? But anyway.
But aren't you infringing on Bob's patent for LED color versus speed?
Well, mine is not flashing and going all sorts of speed. Mine is
okay. So no conflict with the patent.
No, at all. No. If I'm at fastest speed, it's going to be red. If I'm in the turbo speed is red, fast is yellow. If it's slow, then it's green, and turtle speed is blue. And there was a
fully compatible.
Yeah. So, but here's a question. What I did was the PLD, all it did was divide the clock in 2, 4, and 8 to get the 4 speeds that I wanted. Now, I wasn't sure if that was an interesting combo, because if you look, for example, at the 16 megahertz crystal, well, you have 4 megahertz, 2 megahertz, 1, and 0.5. Is that really useful, or should I go and divide by 3 to get 1.33 megahertz? In this case, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's useless. It'll cost me another macro cell to do it. But hey, 3 to 1.5 to 1. Is that something useful? Or 3, 1.5 to 0.75 megahertz? I guess that should be good enough. Okay, maybe I just answered my own question. Or should I go really, really slow? Like divide by 16? Like, for example, 0.25 megahertz. Is that useful? I don't think so, but...
If you want to cheat at games?
Yeah. Well, you have another way to cheat at games, but for the... Oh, no, that would be it, to cheat. That would be my speech thing. But I've got something else that I did. I put here...
It's almost like single-stepping through
switch.
code.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Got a nice pause switch right here. And it's you need, of course, a debounce switch for that. And what I had to take into consideration was the fact that how the halt works, right? And I had forgotten to think that, it must finish the instruction before going to true halt. Okay, so I got that figured out, and I added what I needed. That's why BA and BS are there. Bus available and bus status are there. So that was when they're both at 1. You can only pause when it's in that condition. Not pause, but actually change the clock at that circumstance. And it also makes sure that when you get back to not halting, it will be at the low end of the cycle and not midway. Because if you're going midway, it can cause some erratic behavior on the computer. I got some, no, not this one, but basically, for example, you see at first I'm at full speed. This would be let's say I don't remember. I think it was a 1 megahertz crystal, and I just use it for that, or was it a 4? Let's say that's 4 megahertz, right? And you see that the yellow line, when it goes down, it switches within that period. Then when it goes back up, the clock starts at its new speed, but it switches only when the clock is low, never when it's high. Because there's a problem that if it switches when it's high, but it's near the edge of falling back down, then you have an issue. But there is also some circumstances where the edge, oh, that's the reverse, right? Going from slow to fast. So it does change within when halt is low, when I press when the request is made to switch. And you can see that there's anomalies when the clock switches, right, within that period. So you can't just do willy-nilly, I switch a clock, I don't care. So you have to pause the CPU, and that's, I believe that's how the SAM and the Gimme does. It halts the CPU while it changes the clock. Otherwise, it just freaks out. And you can notice that when it goes back up, the yellow line, well, the clock follows that transition. I think you can see it better in the next picture here. Yeah. So I'm going from a milder clock speed to a slower clock speed. It changes exactly when the halt stops, exactly at the rising edge. So I'm good for that. I tested it. It works. Yay. So that's good. Then the other one I have is a variable wait state generator, PLD. And I do this when I have an IO chip, an IO decode PLD. So I dedicate, in this particular case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the chip selects. And because I was not because I was greedy, I just needed to make sure everything worked well. I've created a wait state bus. So it's only 2 bits. And I can go from 0 wait states, obviously none, but 1, 2, and 3 wait states, and they're full cycles, meaning that it's not a quarter cycle that some people may use. It would be you'd actually be able to refine or optimize your wait states if you did it in quarter cycles. But I figured that most older chips would probably benefit from a full cycle of wait state to just not get confused, right? Like, for example, a compact flash card, if you get the worst of the bunch, if you're going at 4 megahertz, it requires, I believe, when I looked at the worst case scenario, if you're going at 2 megahertz, it probably require 1 wait state. If you're going at 4, then it requires 2. If you get a really cheap card, you'd need 3. So you're padded in this particular case. So I've actually encoded for each chip select, for depending on the speed you're using, because I'm using here the output of the LEDs of the red and green. I know that when it's red only, it's the fastest speed. When it's green only, it's the lowest, not the lowest, but the second to lowest speed. And when they're both combined, it's in the middle. So I detect the speed it's at and I look up a table of what wait states I need to actually go at the fastest speed as I can when I want. The only limit here is no longer the peripherals, which would have been a problem if you don't manage wait states. It's now the CPU. So if I push the CPU, I just need to thermally protect the CPU. I haven't found a decent dip pin 40 package with beefy heatsink for it yet. There are also exceptions. So, for example, if I use the VDP, the Yamaha V99 V9958 chip, well, it does have a weight line, which is really nice. So if I do, if there is a, for example, if I put 3 weight states for the VDP and I'm running at the fastest speed as possible, and I know that the VDP will take longer, and Alan will testify to that. Well, the way I just read the weight line, and depending on which lasts longer, it takes the longest time to do its memory ready push to the CPU. So if the VDP line is still active while the wait state has finished all its counting, and then it will continue to wait to assert the MRD line. Same thing for the PSGs, and I got 3 more just in case. Unfortunately, I couldn't populate more stuff. There's some X's in the outputs over here. That's because I've used up all of my macro cells for it. I could use combinatory logic if I needed to, and that's why those ones are there. But that's for the shadow ROM logic. So I have my O here, this is there, and the last one is just the memory map. It's basically an IO detect, not an IO detect, but a memory map detection. So I got my constant block area where this will never change regardless of which page you are when you're using the MMU, the IO request. So everything that's in this 240 bytes region in the upper memory, the page memory will be a reserved area for all task page pages. So that way you have 500. Oh yeah, newsflash, I'm not using 8K blocks for the MMU. Sorry, it's going to complexify things a bit. I'll have to scratch my head even more. I'm going to be using 4K. So
most of the other 609 based like gimmicks machine stuff use 2 or 4K blocks. So that's
okay, good.
It was just Tandy that used 8.
All right, so then again, this is basically my 512 page reserve memory for it. And the memory request, it's a bit like the Z80, right? Everything that has to do with memory is the MREC just asserts itself, and everything that's IO, it's the IO rec that asserts itself. It's good for some decoding that I'm doing, especially for the shadow copy. I need to know which is when, what is what. So that is it for the design, and basically where I'm at right now also is this is what it looks like. The one that's on on a slanted position, that's the one I'm removing out of the 5. So now there will be 4. I'll just reposition things a bit, but it's getting along.
You're really messing with my head with this whole Z80 not IO mapped IO thing.
What else? Oh yeah. So if you're interested, well, this is basically, I'll zoom in a bit. The only limit that I wanted to do, if you know anything about CUPL language, well, I'll just zoom out a bit because it's probably too big. But basically, this is the CPU. So I got a region for the to detect what speed I want to register.
We're stuck on your breadboard right now.
Oh, you are? Sorry. There. So, sorry. Thanks for. I wasn't looking at the screen. So basically, this is the logic behind, for example, the CPU speed select PLD, and what really drove me mad was where is it? Well, aside from it's figuring out why the output enables, if you want to make sure that you go tri-stated for a few things and not the others, then you find out that the 22 V10s can't do that. It's everything or nothing. Then you have to go to the 750, which is more complex. and then all this counting business. If I wanted to go and count like a 74 type of counter, and enter the queue out and go into the clock, well, you can't do that with these ones either. It has to be one master clock. So you have to figure out a way to do the clocking business and bit shift the whole thing. So it was that's why it took a long time, and that's why I was scratching my head for this longest time, is I had to figure this out. I mean, this is the wait state generator is also another issue. Is where was it? Yeah, this is the counter. The way I've done it also, because it's basically it used to be a 5-bit counter. Now it's a 4 because I needed the extra macro cell. Otherwise, for something else. So it's putting things together like that, which I was very comfortable doing PLDs with combinatorial logic. Registered logic was something new for me, and yeah, that was something. So that is basically it. So I will do my video soon. I started the script. The script is pretty much done. Trying to keep the humor, even though I was head banging my head all the time.
Trying to keep the humor. I like that.
By the way, Sixty had some comments that might be relevant here too in the chat. He says, for how the SAM does it, there are some timing diagrams in the SAM ×4 manual that might be useful. It doesn't stop anything per se, but when the transition is made from slow to fast is important. Then he goes, actually, I think I got mixed up there. SAM ×4 won't need diagrams as the same as a SAM, but the VDHDL code may clarify when those transitions occur.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. There is something else I have to tweak, though. It reminds me. I'd like to be able to give it some time, like another clock cycle or two, while it's still low, just to make sure everything's fine. But I guess I'll know when I plug in the memory and start coding. But it's interesting. Is the VHDL code available?
60 can answer that in the chat or on Discord if you want to ask him directly.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Nice.
Okay.
That's got to be one of the longest project updates we've had in a while.
Yeah, in a while.
Not just
Right.
Frederic. I mean, in general, like it's an hour and a half of the show here.
Oh, right.
So who's sleeping now?
I don't know if anyone's sleeping. That's interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and do commercial break.
And then what, do you want to go on the Game On Challenge? While people are still kind of awake?
Earth Pigeon Ken, are you here?
All right, go on the news.
Hello, everyone. It's your good buddy, your good pal, Amigo Aaron, joined by that dastardly The Brent from ARG Presents.
You're watching CoCoNation.
I feel like that should have been longer.
The CoCoNation Show would like to thank the following patrons. AC's 8-Bit Zone, Alex Gare, Alan Huffman, Barry Tompkinson, Boysen Tech, Brendan Donnie, Brian Walsh, Brian Weasler, Karen Askham, Coconut Bob, Daddy Burrito, David Ladd, Derek Smithson, Diego BF109, Don Barber, Eric Canales, Frederic Segard, Glenn Hewlett, Graham Wabke, Grant Leedy, Henry Gernhardt, Henry Strickland, Jason Warrens, Jeffrey Drywater, Jim Mullis, Justin Larson, Ken Reichard, Kevin Holloway, Mark Castellan, Michael Hill, Patrick Euland, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, R. Allen Murphy, Richard Harding, Rob Inman, Rocky Hill, Steve Batson, Terry Trapp, TJB Chris, Tom C., Tom Gunderson, Tom S., William Athing. Thank you so much, patrons. If you would like to support the CoCoNation show, sign up at patreon.thecoconation.com.
Hey everyone, I'm TJB Chris, and I'm watching the CoCoNation live show, and so are you. and probably shouldn't be pointing that thing at you. Enjoy!
Welcome everybody to the CoCoNation Game On Challenge of the Week results video. This week we played Chopper Strike. We had a total of 15 players. We had Mark B with 3,600, Mark O with 5,300, Mr. Dave 6309 6,000, Frederic 6,700, Coconut Bob 7,800, Jim Rye 8,100. Rich N, 8,500. Retro Rick, 9,400. Ed Rhodes, 18,700. Mike Zweifel, 18,900. Sloopy Malibu, 20,700. Canadian Retro Things, 22,200. Tasman, 102,400. David Craker, 124,100. And just squeaking out another win this week, we have Dr. Ted with 124,600. Thanks everybody that played, and we will see you again next week.
Oh, and the CoCoNation salutes Dr. Ted.
Salute!
Yeah, he barely won it this time.
Yeah, the surprising part was 500 points.
Little mini salute there. Yeah.
There was definitely a huge jump between fourth place and third place, though, for scores. So I managed to find a couple of reviews here. The first one is from Hot Cocoa, May, I believe, 1984 this is. Yep, May 1984. So, it's a short, just a really short little review here. Basically, just says a couple things about it. The graphics in this one are not nearly as detailed as Cashman, which was another one they were reviewing this episode, or this issue. But I find the game much more engaging. Gives you very accurate control. If you appreciate precise movement, dodging, and planning, take a look at Chopper Strike. So this reviewer thought it was a pretty good game. As opposed to the other review that I found, which was in Rainbow. And this is Rainbow from August of 1984. Now, it first talks about just playing the game. And then talks about how he actually pulled out the other three popular Chopper games for the CoCo and found Chopper Strike vastly superior to two of them and modestly superior to the other. And that's about where his praise ends. Then goes on to say that an aggravating thing that he found with it is the way that the screen scrolls. As it scrolls from left to right, it jerks across the screen, affecting not only the terrain, but the control of the chopper as well. I personally didn't think it was all that bad. I've seen a lot worse smooth scrolling for smoothness, and I didn't think it affected the control of the chopper at all. But okay. The choppy motion and the continuous choppy sound tend to turn 30 minutes of Chopper Strike into a 3 Excedrin headache. Now, I think that's just exaggerating it a little bit. Forgettable feature of Chopper Strike is the two monitor fields at the upper right corner of the screen. I agree that those were not used a lot. One showed the direction that you were firing, and the other one showed that if you were actually targeting something. Both border on being totally useless. Gadgets and gauges don't hold the interest very long if they don't accomplish anything useful. I don't think that's true either. There's a few times that I was playing where I actually, especially when you're pointing down, it's really useful to be able to see what you're about to shoot, because you don't want to shoot your own men. That will kill them. And if the man is showing up in the targeting thing, don't fire. So he simply didn't find the game very interesting. And he knows that Chopper Strike is a game that'll be enjoyed by thousands of people, even though he didn't. So, yeah, he didn't like the game very much.
I mean, part of the reason for the choppier horizontal scrolling is it's hard to do a smooth scroll at speed on a CoCo 1 or 2. World Urbid runs one of the few that I think did it quite well. You usually go by at least a byte, so at least 4 pixels at a time. Chopper Strike, I think, bigger. That was probably just to keep the speed up while, depending on the programming skill of the original programmer.
And even that, I mean, comparatively to most other games I've played on the CoCo,
yeah, it was fine.
Wasn't all that bad. Like, I think this guy was just really, really nitpicking it because he just went in already talking about how he just doesn't like chopper games.
Yeah.
Had a bad day.
It's like, yeah, that's the perfect person to give the review to. And he even actually talks earlier in it about how he hates reviewing games because it's completely subjective about whether they're good or not.
He's probably used to like reviewing C compilers or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this guy is definitely not is Kevin Nichols. I don't think I don't know why they would give a game to somebody to review that first off
Doesn't
one
like
of the
games.
first lines in the article is I don't like reviewing games because it's completely subjective on whether it's good or not. Which I think is actually wrong because I've seen a lot of games that I could review as being really good looking games and everything. Objectively bad play, but looks really pretty.
Yeah, and vice versa. Something that looks good or plays bad and looks good versus looks basically the opposite of each other type thing. Like sometimes you have a game that doesn't look that good, but it plays well and vice versa.
Yeah, I'll certainly never mention a major competitor of the CoCo for a game that a computer that made a lot of games that look really pretty but play like absolute dog crap.
Does it end with the word door?
I'm not gonna say.
Well, we did find one anomaly with the game on VCC. It didn't really play very well, at least for me.
On the
VCC.
older versions of VCC.
Yeah, because VCC is running double speed all the time. But yes, the very latest version currently out lets you turn that off, and then it plays then it plays good.
So it's a game that's completely tied to the CPU speed. So
yeah, because even if you did the double speed poke in the CoCo 3, I think it gets pretty hard to play.
Yeah. Well, just on VCC, it's it runs twice as fast as if you're running it on a regular CoCo.
Yeah, I think when you guys did the game on live stuff last week, somebody was having it on VCC, and you could see right next to you had two versions of Chopper Strike, two different players, and one was going twice as fast as the other one.
We actually figured that out this week, though.
Figured out how to fix it.
Yep. Just upgrade your VCC to the most current version.
Or play on real hardware.
Oh, come on now. Where am I going to
find not everybody has the capture devices to be able to do that, unfortunately.
And also, where am I going to find a CoCo right here or there or back there?
They're made to be looked at, not played with.
Exactly. They're works of art. You don't play with works of art.
Yeah. Or somebody has 4 of them, make an exception.
Okay, so other than the VCC problem that we had with it, does anybody? I guess one of the big things for actually how to score points in this game that we figured out also when we were reading the manual on it is that if you collect 20 men in a row, you get a 10,000 point bonus. So it actually, especially at the very beginning of the game where there's not a lot of things shooting at you and stuff.
Yeah, go for the bonus.
go for the bonus rather than trying to destroy everything. You get a lot more points a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And you get a free man.
And do you think it's worthwhile trying to go through the tunnels to get some of them?
I would think so. Yeah.
If you're good.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, that's a testy one, and whether or not sometimes it's just suicide.
I crashed almost every time I tried that, but watching David Craker play, he just would swoop right down in there and just shoot everything and pick up his men and fly out the other side. I was like, well, it's got better control than I do. But yeah, so I don't know. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Chopper Strike?
I will say that our local computer club here had a library where we purchased legitimately a copy that people would sign up. But this one was actually held back because we had a gaming competition, and we had 2 or 3 games in it. Chopper Strike was one of them. And I think the prize was you won a copy of Sailor Man or something like that. We bought a couple of that one. And I did not win. But we had some pretty good players at it, so... I'd already played Whirlybird Run, and honestly, I prefer the scramble style. I mean, this is a bit different. It's kind of like a combination of what's that Apple II game that also made the arcade?
Choplifter.
Which one? Choplifter. Yeah, it's kind of a Choplifter scramble mix because you're rescuing the people type thing, which you don't do in Scramble or Super Cobra. So it's a nice mix, but yeah, it's the firing mechanism is a little bit awkward, though. Honestly, with a single button joystick, I don't know much else you could have done it.
Once you get used to it, though, it was pretty good.
I like the idea you could be able to angle your weapon with your, the joystick angle, but I didn't want to use that most of the time. I prefer just to have it flat. It's like I wish that's something I could grow into, because it'd be much better if I could just start out flat, and then as I get the basics down, then be able to move up to, manipulating the gun angle while flying. Anyway.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they put in something like if you held the fire trigger down while you were shooting forward, then you could move up and down. And
move up and down, forward. Exactly. And if you just use short little bursts, it just shoots straight.
Yeah. I did find a few times that when I was trying to shoot something in front of me and also duck under it, I was just shot down, and half the time I would hit one of my own men and then...
Instantly lose life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part of the game never made sense to me. I killed the guy on the ground. Why do I die at the same time? I don't get that.
Well, because when you get back to the base, somebody's going to kill you anyway for killing your own men. You're not going to be a very popular person on base.
Well, you can just join the other side, I guess.
Right. Yes, Tom, we need a proper choplifter for the CoCo Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, the Apple II version definitely could be converted over. It wouldn't be straining the CPU too much to do that.
Not at all.
Well, there you go, Mark. You can do that.
On my list. It's got a really long list, but it's on you.
He'll do it for his tech presentation in January.
Tell you what.
Which January, we don't know.
Maybe I'll announce for the first game of 2027 will be Mark's version of Choplifter.
Ah, great.
That means you got a year in event to do it.
I was just going to say you could have went for 2026, Ken.
Right. No, he gave you an extra January, Mark.
Oh. Have you met Mark? Come on.
Okay, 27.
Here you go, 60. Cat's getting scratched.
That's a problem. Too many cats to scratch.
Yeah. Overall, it's a good game. It wasn't my favorite one by Computer Shack Mitchtron. Obviously, stuff like Cashman and Time Man, it would rank a bit higher. But it was good. It was different enough from the other Scramble clones, like Scramble by Tom Mix with the weird spelling. There's several on the Dragon that we didn't see, like, was it Two-Way Army or something like that? I can't remember some of the other ones they had there, but they had some other Scramble type clones. But this one had enough uniqueness with the rescuing people and stuff that it was a different game. So it's kind of a nice one to try if you haven't tried it before.
I wouldn't have been disappointed if I had picked this up for...
Yeah, we weren't. I mean, we had a lot of people in the club playing it. Like probably 20, 30 people competed in that particular one. The contest to win a free game.
If I had picked it up for $27.95 on cassette, I would have not been that disappointed.
Yeah. And I remember the ad for it. It had 105 screens, I think, scrolling before you repeated. something like that. It was,
105 or 114 or something like that.
yeah. So it's a pretty big game, fairly unique terrain until it starts wrapping when you get really good at it.
It's a weird way to say it though, because you don't really notice a screen after a screen after a screen in a continuous scroller like
No,
that.
but in the early 80s, that was a big bragging point. Like Time Bandit, advertised it had 300 plus screens, and
Right.
Cashman had over 45. And
Well,
so that
people
was
were all about memorizing patterns back then. So if you had a memorizable pattern, people would.
Yeah.
They look,
and then, of course, they did it in such a way they'd say, like, with only 32K RAM, you can have a game with like 100 plus screens of action or whatever. So
I also did find it interesting that when you bought it, you got both the 16K and the 32K version.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. With
What's the
16
difference
version, I
in
think
quality?
reduced the number of screens, right? The basic game was the same, but it
Yeah.
just cut the map short.
I believe
What's
so,
the-
yes.
What's the difference in quality though between the 16 and 32?
I think just the map size of it.
Just the size of the maps.
Oh.
It would start
You're
repeating a
not
lot
going to get as
quicker.
many. You're not going to get as many screens, so you'll start repeating faster.
Like probably a quarter of eighth or something of the screens on the.
Right.
But hey,
Yeah,
for
I
those
thought it was
of
a
us
good
that
game.
only
It
have the
wasn't a great
16K
game for
CoCos.
me, but it was a good game.
decent, yeah.
Yeah. But it's also good that those of us that had a 16K CoCo back in the day could have bought that and then dreamt of all the extra screens you'd get if you upgraded.
I got to
Yeah,
get the
it's like-
RAM because I already bought the program. So I got
It's one of those ones where you bought the game and then you got a free upgrade when you did your RAM upgrade on your CoCo. There's a few of those
Yeah,
that
you
did
got
that.
a free game. Yeah.
Or some of the fat binary cartridges where you upgrade from CoCo 2 to CoCo 3, all of a sudden you had like better graphics and
Mhm.
better resolution and stuff too.
So something that gives you a reason to upgrade.
Yeah. There's quite a few, like especially the CoCo 2 to CoCo 3. I mean, you had stuff like Arkanoid would get an upgrade, and Texter and Silpheed, and there's quite a few games that actually gave you like an instant upgrade. And you didn't have to spend any extra money besides the upgrade itself.
All right. Well, I guess we can put Chopper Strike to bed, and I guess we'll talk about the other game we played this week, which was Snak Pac.
Yeah, you kind of went through a little bit of the history there. There's some
4 different
contestation on that.
versions. Yeah.
Well, the original one, I can't remember the programmer. Was it Paul Cyril? Somebody did it for Computerware as Pac Attack in 1981. And then Larry Bank, I think, was the guy that ended up doing several other versions of it later, where you basically upgraded from SemiGraphics 24 to artifact colors and stuff, because you could get nice, smooth-looking Pac-Man shapes. But otherwise, the code was identical. But then that got marketed by Tom Mix's Snak Pac as an original game. It's not. It's just basically reskinned.
Yeah.
And Tom Mix did some shady bits sometimes where they didn't fully investigate. Somebody had pirated a game and gave it to them to sell. Because that actually happened to Nick. Because Nick had a few games like Donut Dilemma got sold by Tom Mix that there was never an agreement with them.
Well, that was one of these versions. The author didn't even know that it had been released.
Yeah. Well, it was like Nick. Nick had no idea it got sold directly by Tom Mix in the 80s. And then all of a sudden they pulled it because I think, did you discover that, Nick, or did somebody else?
I discovered it. It wasn't Tom Mix's fault, though. It was another distributor here in Australia who sold it to Tom Mix. So
Sold
Tom
it
Mix thought they were selling a legit copy, but yeah, this other company was doing the illegal ones.
Yeah, because I think that also happened with some of the Dragon stuff. Because I mean, Tom Mix at one time even sold Cuthbert Goes Roundabout and stuff briefly, and they had a couple months of ads, so that got yanked too. So I'm guessing Microdeal wasn't too happy about that. It probably had nothing to do with it either.
The Wild West of the 80s in video games.
Yeah,
Right?
There was no internet to do the research. Oh, wait a sec, this has already been on sale in Australia for years.
Right. No, this is your game. Sure. Okay, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
And the games were sold in photocopied instructions and plastic bags. So anyone could copy that.
Right.
Like,
It looks
that's how that
counterfeit to start with, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
you can make your own originals and sell them.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Mix and Computer Shack, like Brian was showing earlier, did have some fancier packaging with the color vinyl cardboard solidified disc jackets and stuff like that. And Tom Mix did sell some of that too, so it wasn't quite as easy to pirate theirs. Mitchtron and Computer Shack actually had full color printouts of the cover of the game too. That was full color, and Spectral had some two-tone stuff. So a few of the bigger companies did do something a little bit more harder to duplicate, but most of them didn't. Because it was expensive to print color back then.
Back then.
Now you can do it on a $60 inkjet printer.
Right.
So, I guess talking about Snak Pac now, I guess one of the things that was pointed out while we were playing on the live show that somebody finds rather annoying about the game is that when you eat the power pellet, the ghosts turn white, meaning you can eat them, but there is a white ghost, so you can't tell when he switches between.
Doesn't it switch from a happy face to a frown though?
I'll have to look while the game.
Thought
is
it
playing.
did. I might be remembering that wrong, but I thought it
We were
did.
too busy running to notice.
Deep thoughts. Yeah.
The live footage might show that if you have somebody.
Yeah.
there.
When the white goes to okay, yeah, we have our challenge.
We'll take a look. I don't remember.
Find a mad white ghost. Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, it's a Pac-Man clone that.
And a Pac Attack clone. If you want to
and
take
a
the
Pac
very
Attack
first Pac-Man we ever had on the CoCo.
Pac Attack clone, but the differences between it and a regular Pac-Man is that this has way more power pellets.
Yeah, and a much more complicated maze.
Much more complicated maze, and
only 3 ghosts.
Only 3 ghosts, and you can stop anywhere in the maze you want, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
It's good because you can stop just before a power pellet and wait for the ghosts to come close to you. It's bad when you're being chased by a ghost and you are so used to playing Pac-Man where you have to, if you want to go up, you have to kind of hit the up just before you get to the turn.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you just stop dead.
You stop standing at the wall. Great.
And then the ghost kills you.
Yeah.
So you got to get you got to get rid of a lot of muscle memory of playing Pac-Man.
Yeah. If I remember, there's only one bonus fruit shape too, isn't there? It just repeats.
I have no idea. I've never.
I know the original
Pac
Pac-Tac was always an apple, a half-eaten apple or something. But
yeah, there's an apple, but I've never gotten past level 1 to see if there's anything else.
Pac-Tac 2, I think they did add the extra bonus shapes because they kind of got competition from Ghost Gobbler by Spectral a year later, which was a much better clone, honestly.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything else they want to say about Pac-Tac before we?
It's Snak Pac here. You picked it.
Which one are we playing?
Whichever clone, whichever secondary clone we're talking about here.
The clone we're playing.
Anyway,
the game we're playing. Anybody else want to say anything else about that, or shall I start showing some footage from the live show?
Yeah, I'll just mention if you check the ads for Rainbow in 82, 83, somewhere in that time frame, you'll see Snak Pac actually advertised for a couple months, and it suddenly just disappears, and that's because of the stink controversy between Computerware and Tom Mix.
Let's see if I actually remembered to load up the live show here. And it does not look like I did. Well, I had to reboot my computer. No, it's right there. Where the heck? How come it's not showing up in my... Oh, there. Okay, it just popped in. Weird. Okay, there we go. So, during the live show, we had a number of people playing. Let's see, was it, I think 6 may have been the most.
Who's in the lower left of that current screenshot there?
Lower left.
With the picture of the helicopter and stuff?
Mark. That's Mark about to do his...
That's the actual artword that was used on the cover of the...
Yeah.
When you bought it.
That's the instructions he's about to read. Let's see where it went.
And I don't know what's supposed to be proper. I always played it with the artifact color, so the ground was orange. I know quite a few people are playing it blue. I don't know what the official, if it even mattered.
Oh, right.
There we go. There's where he starts reading the instructions.
Yeah, I think the ground was supposed to be orange because your man was supposed to be blue.
Yeah.
Well, it...
and I think this is my scan, actually. I think this is the ones I scanned from our club library.
Possibly. Anyways, it was when we read the instructions that we discovered you get the 10,000 bonus points. So yeah, read the instructions, people.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to
Oh.
read the instructions.
Right.
Even
Oh,
though Nick
here
has
we have-
completely given up on people doing that.
Now we've
Yeah.
got 7 people playing.
People don't read.
Nope. Instructions.
And David was there to give us a master class in how to play the game.
David
Although, as he
Craker?
was saying, yeah, he's the top middle there.
Yeah. Memorizing the terrain helps too.
Yeah, this during playing this day was when he scored his 104,000 or 114,100 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'd have to dig up the old newsletter to see how good I did. I don't think I broke 100,000 even back in the day.
But as David was saying on the live show there, that this was actually one of his favorite games when he was a kid. So he's had some practice. He didn't just pick it up and
Mastered it in 5 minutes.
yeah. So let's see if we can find some. Oh, another thing about Snak Pac is if you are running it on VCC,
It cuts the bottom of the screen off and stretches it.
no, here, right there, you can see both Mark B and me are running it on VCC.
Yep.
And for some reason on the title page here, it does not display the choose your skill level 1 to 3. It's
yeah,
there.
it's basically it's picking the wrong screen resolution. It's
Yeah.
not quite interpreting the SAM VDG combo set correctly.
Yeah. So if you're playing on VCC, it's not going to display. You're going to be on this screen, but it's not displaying to actually hit 1, 2, or 3 to start the game.
Yeah.
But
On
just
other
to recommend
emulators, I think it does show up, and obviously on the real hardware it does. Because
Yeah,
the vertical
it's-
resolution is basically doubled here what it should be, so it's cutting screen in half and only showing the top half.
it although it's not stretching the Snak Pac thing there, that's the right size for the screen.
You have somebody playing it on a different emulator or the real hardware that actually shows what it's supposed to look like?
Mine does eventually, but it's really weird colored. I finally figured out.
Oh no, you're right. It is. So that's what it's supposed to look like. So yes, it
Yeah.
does stretch it. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's just not showing this enter skill level 1 through 3. And just a reminder, we're playing on skill level 1, so that some of us that suck at games like this can at least score a few points.
Namely me.
And me.
Well, you got that new joystick now. You should be fine once you get the converter done. And you just kick our butts. So did you figure out if the ghosts change to a sad face when they're white?
You're right. They do.
Yeah, that's the way you tell, from what I
It's-
remember.
It's not. It doesn't change their mouths all that much though. It's just the corner goes from 1 pixel down to 1 pixel up.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle, but there is a change, so you can tell
Yeah.
which one's which.
So there, I hadn't noticed that before, but yes. But also, when you're chasing the ghost and it doesn't change from any kind of a color, it's just the mouth moves slightly. And it always seems to be the white one that I'm chasing when they change back.
This one had pretty decent sound effects, especially considering the original Pac Tac was written in 81 when the CoCo had only been out like 6 to 8 months. But I remember this one being a little bit infamous in the club here because the death sound when the player dies is such a grating sound.
Yeah. So if you want to join us for the live show there and play the games of the week, we meet on Thursdays in the Discord channel, the Game On Challenge Live Discord channel. You can show up there and play on real hardware, emulator, use the Play Now button on the Color Computer Archive, and stream your gameplay. Doesn't have to be the game of the week, but it has to be a CoCo game. And or you could just drop in and make fun of those of us that are playing the games really badly, which is usually
That's
most
me.
of us.
That's too easy.
It's definitely don't come if you want to make fun of us playing the game badly, don't come right at the beginning because that's usually when we get our best scores. We all just seem to get worse and worse and worse as the show goes on. I don't know why. Oh, there's David flying through the tunnel.
Yeah. You got to be careful though. Some of those tunnels are dead ends. So you have to kind of memorize which ones you can go through.
And also don't get trigger happy.
Yeah.
I think I know why we get worse. It's because our brain has this problem with this formula. It's inversely proportional to our age.
Oh, geez, and I just had a birthday, so I'm going to be like really screwed up now.
Right.
Oh yeah, and another thing we forgot on Thursday, and he's not even here, was that Thursday was Sloopy's birthday.
Oh, how old is he now?
Dang.
We didn't.
That's why he's hiding.
Yeah,
we didn't.
I think so.
I told him that he was happy we didn't sing Happy Birthday to him on Thursday, but I told him we were going to sing it to him today, but he didn't show up.
So he
for the
fled?
show.
One of these shows, he's going to show up. So I'm going to have a birthday cake with a candle in it.
There you go.
A cupcake. An old green moldy one. With a
I didn't realize our birthdays were that close together. That's kind of scary.
I'm not sure how. He's probably pretty close to your age too.
Ancient?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in that ancient range here. So.
All right. So Thursday nights, I hope to see you there. If you can't join us in person, join us on the stream, and you can just write in the comments to make fun of us.
Closer welcome.
Yeah, and if you can't do that, at least try to play the game, submit a score onto the Discord in the Game on Challenge.
He did.
Which I have not been able to do lately because I've been busy planning this trip.
Well, haven't been choosing the great games this lately, so you didn't miss anything. I mean, what was that? That pinball game? Come on.
Yeah, some no name.
Some no-name released a pinball game that we played.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be saving up your money for Neutroid, obviously.
Well, I sure hope you weren't planning on driving.
Actually, yeah. I got comments on my itch.io page regarding Neutroid Reloaded. There's a guy who loved it. He thought it was a brilliant game. So
his name was Sloopy, wasn't it?
No, it was someone else.
How much did you pay him?
No, nothing. That's the thing. Brilliant. So you guys are wrong.
Okay. I will admit that Neutroid Reloaded is probably the best one that you released since the original one on the
Model 1.
On the Model 1.
Oh, it is cool looking though, that's for sure. Hard as hell to play, but
yeah, and I think during the course of the Game on Challenge over 2 weeks, because he suddenly had so many beta testers there, he went from version 1.0 to 1.1 to 1.2, didn't he?
What are you talking about? Pinball?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to what 1.3. There's going to be another one.
There's a new one. There's a new one.
No, there is another bug actually. But mind you, it's one of those bugs that people love because it actually makes it. Well, it doesn't make it easier, but it lets the player get something for free. Which,
so you're just going to snatch it away from us, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I already have. I haven't really uploaded the update. It was very
We're
simple.
We're going to have to implement a waiting period.
And also, aren't you going to add for when the score comes on the high score?
Yes,
that if
that's
they wrap
the thing.
it,
that's what I'm
you'll get the
working
one?
now. It will,
because multiple people have wrapped the 100,000 already, which I told you was going to happen.
Well, which is fine. I don't mind that. It's just like a real machine.
Right.
But the high score table will record it. Well,
yeah,
when
that's good. Yeah.
Because you'll know at the time. So yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So I'll do a 1.4 when I'm ready.
When's 2.0 come out?
You're never going to stop working on this pinball game, Nick.
It's going to be like Neutroid. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, right? New life's work. Neutroid and pinball.
I was going to ask you, Nick, though, now that you're selling through itch.io, do you find distributing updates and stuff a lot easier this way?
It
Or
is,
do you-
yeah, it's much easier.
Nice.
Much easier, and also
And I think it
people can-
automatically notifies if you upload a new version. It automatically emails everybody that had bought it, correct?
I don't know, does it do that? I mean, I
I'm
don't know
not
if
sure.
it does that.
I believe it does.
Or are you having to send out manual emails every time you send an update?
I haven't done anything. I don't know where you do it. So I'm still.
Well, I think if you upload a
fairly-
new version, I think it just automatically goes, okay, everybody who's purchased it now is going to get a notification, an email saying, you know,
okay, well-
1.1's now out or whatever you called it.
So if
I
you're
think.
getting it, they must do that, eh?
Did you?
I don't know because
Yes.
I mean, obviously I haven't purchased it.
Yeah. Well, maybe people on the panel here have actually bought in the game. Have you guys received notifications as Nick's released updates?
Not from Nick, but I've seen it from other HIO things. But
Hmm.
I should go back and look.
Maybe
Well, you
there's
gotta-
something on.
Mark, you have to unblock Nick.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Ever since the infamous Neutroid scandal,
Right.
he's blocked him.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, nobody's got anything else to say. I guess I will show you what the game one is going to be for the next 2 weeks.
Bring it on.
Let's see here. Now, this is another one of those games that can be really hard to guess because the name of the game is definitely not written at the top of the screen. And plus, nobody should recognize what game this is.
Good.
Yes, very hard. Is it Space Invaders?
Shoplifter.
Pyramix. He-Man.
Cube Man.
Neutroid?
Yes, it's another version of Neutroid.
Cuber or something.
It's a quantum physics game with qubits, I think.
Qubit.
Qubits.
Q-Man.
You said it
sold-
wasn't written on the top of the screen.
He
Who's being
lied.
facetious.
I lied, yes.
Who sold that game?
Oh, who was that again? I can't remember. The author
Well,
only did
Genesis
this
Alpha.
game for the CoCo, as far as I know.
No, it existed for the Commodore.
Wow.
Q-Man did?
Probably did.
Well, okay,
Not
the original. But I
Q-Man.
mean,
Oh, yeah,
Quebert.
Cubert's on
Qbert
everything.
Yeah,
you're
we've
right.
got multiple clones.
See, Q-Man was written by Genesis Software. The author is ? He's written a lot of stuff.
Beauty. Yeah.
Yeah, Genesis is the guys that did Enchanted Forest and Bigfoot, some graphical adventure games, earlier ones, like 82, 83. Those were written in BASIC, though. This is actually assembly language. It's not the
So-
best Qbert clone we have, but it's not horrible.
When it says author ? Does that mean the Riddler has written it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's up to you to figure if it's a Jim Carrey Riddler or one of the other ones.
Or yeah, one of the can't be Batman Riddler or yeah.
Have we played many of the Qbert clones before, Ken? On Game On Challenge?
One or two of them.
I mean, there's
At least one of
Cubix
the
from
other ones.
Spectral. There's the Q-Burr from Tom Mix. There's Blockhead from Computerware. Q-Man from Genesis.
I know
Pyramix
we
from...
We definitely played the one that has the different shapes of screens, like it's not all just pyramids.
Okay. There's a really cool one on the Dragon, actually. It's a semi-graphics one, and every level is a completely different layout of cubes.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Kieran might remember that one, or Julian, or some of the other guys in the chat there. But it looks pretty intriguing. I haven't really played it that much. Pogo Joe or something like that, I think it's called.
Hmm.
It's quite an impressive one, but we never saw that up here in North America during the time, anyway. The best one we had was the Pyramid, our Pyramix for the CoCo 3, which is written by Jordan Svetkoff when he was like 15.
Anyways, that's the game for the next 2 weeks. So
Cool. And Snak Pac for one more week?
Snak Pac for one more week. Enjoy your Qbert clone and your Pac-Man clone. That's all I have to say.
And in between, look out for Nick's 1.4 release of Pinball.
Yep. And
right.
now we can go on to the snoozy newsy.
Or do you want a commercial break first, Mark? As he wakes up.
Mark's already asleep.
Who,
so-
me?
Yeah. I'm ready for the news.
What would really be great is if the commercial break had actual commercials that pay us.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We used to have one.
Ooh, are we almost up to Transformer Top?
Yes, we have a weather update. We are reaching Transformer Top here in Wisconsin. So they're in the universal CoCo scale of snow.
Looking beautiful.
Here's where we're at. Coming down quicker now, so we'll see if we can get up to Hello Logo. You know.
Yeah, Transformer Top. That's 3 inches. I think I read there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving on. Or 80 centimeters for the rest of the world. 8 centimeters, not 80. Jeez.
So this is what they mean by liquid cooled CoCo running at overclock, right?
Yeah, maybe so. And when you get to the whole CoCo, then.
So when you can't find the CoCo anymore, is that when you say enough, Canada?
Enough. Well, I already tried to reset at 11 inches, but
Hey, it's not snowing here.
Yeah,
How
it's
about
not
you,
here
Frederic?
either. It did yesterday, but-
it came down to us this time.
Are you tariffing it too, or?
Otherwise, it'd be a foot by now.
Tariffing it or terrifying it?
Yeah.
We'll send the snow down to you and then charge you extra.
Well, right. Like I say, otherwise we'd be a foot by now, but with the tariff, we get CoCo Transtop.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll go on to the game on news first because it's not too many, but a few things in there. So,
when you want the latest in TRS-80, Tandy, Dragon, MC-10, and all of their hardware cousins, no matter what it takes, or where news breaks, from around the world to your nation. The CoCoNation News with L. Curtis Boyle.
hey, big shout out to Mark for covering the news. I'm still researching the news each week, so I'm at least staying somewhat involved in keeping an idea of what's going on in the CoCo community.
Thank you.
Thanks for covering.
Yep. Wish we could drag it out longer, but I don't have as much background as you do.
Don't. Yeah, we aren't as entertaining as you are. So.
The secret is just ask the panel to comment on something in the chat, then you have to wait for 10 minutes for them to answer. So that's what I do.
I try. It's like crickets. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yeah, no one cares about us. So.
Like, what other feature can we add to this?
Yeah, well, when you ask in the chat, remember there's like a 30-second delay before they even hear you. So
right.
kind of ask the question, then add a couple things on your own or make up some stuff, and then hopefully something will happen by then.
That's right.
So hey, first up, PetSass Jim 1 on YouTube has put up a video showing the new CoCo 3 specific version of a game called Push Ori 64 Plus. Now, this is a game that has been originally available for the Commodore 64 using the Microgames Basic Engine, or UG Basic as some people know it. And this is the cross-platform compiler, a basic compiler you run on a modern machine, and then you can tell it to target so many different 8-bit systems from back in the past. And I think there was a CoCo 1.2 version of this one already. Now it's been upgraded to CoCo 3 graphics. And I've kind of skipped when because he had a fair bit of the video here kind of just showing the setup of the game. But this will actually show you a little bit of the gameplay. He's just about to zoom it up to full screen. So unfortunately, there's no sound on this. I think the game does have sound. I like the little guitar icon because I play guitar. He's using VCC 2107. I think that's actually could be fairly old, isn't it? Isn't 211 or 2110 out now or something? And this reminds me of the 2048 game that George Jonas, I'm blanking his name, George Johnson that did the
Jensen?
CoCo 3 Assembly Language series.
Yeah.
Jonathan, yes, thank you. I know
Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen, right. I should know that from the PAC days, but anyway. But it looks like you're pushing different shapes here across, and you have to get at least 2 linked up to destroy them. And then if you accidentally fill the board, you basically lose the game. And I'm assuming there's different levels a little bit later on that probably get more squares. So it's a nice little puzzle strategy game. Anyway, that's a free download. It doesn't cost you anything. If you go to the UG Basic webpage, you can actually go for the download zone. There's multiple CoCo games there. We actually should get somebody that's familiar with the compiler to actually go through and show us some of them.
Also on itch.io too.
Is that under the UG Basic or is that under each individual author's?
Spotless Mind, I believe. So he also has documentation for the UG Basic system too.
Yeah, actually, just did a pretty major revision of the manual. Now he's got 6.309 support added in, and of course he had a CoCo 3 support some time ago. So it's going to be a pretty decent compiler, especially if you want to do cross-platform development. If you want to create it for the C64 and the CoCo and the Atari 8-bits and all that kind of stuff. Next up, we have Jim Gary with Space Game. I love the creativeness of that title, but he didn't make it. So originally, this was by Loring C. White. This originally appeared in the October 1979 issue of Byte. I'm not sure what platform it was originally for, but Jim has converted to be Semigraphics 4 on the MC10, so I'll play a little bit of the gameplay here. That's basically a 3D site where you're trying to manipulate the TIE fighter into getting shot, and it gives you a little bit of a screen here of the controls. We'll skip all that because who reads directions, right, Nick?
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, it's trying to fly on its own path. You're trying to steer it so that it still gets into the center where you can actually hit it. And basically it just repeats. I mean, this is a fairly early game. I mean, Star Wars itself came out in 77 and this game was out in 79. So pretty closely after. This actually, the original version of this game in Byte actually predates the CoCo itself by a year. So next to that, we have some high score challenge ones. There's a few people that have been doing these fairly regularly, playing both Dragon and CoCo games. This particular one here by Attempts, a gaming channel by LRU, is attempting to get a high score to submit for Jet Boot Colin, which was a UK game on the Dragon, and I think other platforms as well, on skill level 5, and he got a total score of 930 on screen 2. And I think we've covered this one a little bit before, but I figure we might as well just take a quick look for those who have not seen it before. Pretty cool sound effects. I'll turn down.
God, someone show this guy the toilet.
Yeah. Now this one looks like somebody patched it to try to get some fake colors out of it, because I think the original game is P Mode 4, just black and white, and meant to be that way. That's why the font looks all multicolored weird. But basically, you're flying this guy with a jetpack, and you have to pick up the shapes and dodge the obstacles that are floating around and on the platforms. But it's got some pretty decent sound effects for a little 16 or 32K game. Yeah, so we have ZX Frankie, another person that does high score submissions here, and this time he's playing Mind Out on the Dragon 32, apparently on real hardware, if I'm looking at this correctly. And he got a score of 2245. And Mind Out is one we actually had on the Game On Challenge not too long ago, I do believe. And it's really basic, remember. I think it's one that Sloopy really liked. If you remember, Ken, if I'm right or wrong on that, I think this is one that he picked.
Yeah, I think I was away for when we played this, but I do remember seeing it.
Yeah, because basically you're trying to navigate from the bottom doorway to the top doorway, and you get this little update on the upper left that tell you like you're surrounded by 1 mine or surrounded by 3 mines. And depending on where you move or where you came from, you can kind of figure where the mines might be and try to get to the next screen. So a little bit like, what's a game that Windows had built in for a long time?
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper, yeah. Kind of similar to that in some ways, except you're actively moving as opposed to just randomly clicking on cells. Next up, there's a nice little announcement here from Guillaume Major. Of course, is the guy that does the Color Computer Archive, but he's also the guy that ported the Sierra games to the CoCo 3. Tandy and Sierra did sell 2 512K required games for the CoCo 3, which is Leisure Suit Larry and King's Quest 3. Guillaume actually ported all the others over even the homebrews. And one thing that he noticed, if you're just listening on audio, I'll just read his description at the top here. I've updated Sierra's AGI interpreter to implement the missing shake screen command that was available on other platforms. Now we can enjoy our favorite Sierra adventure games with that more faithful experience. Next stage, it would be try to get it to work with a sound card, because a lot of them actually supported multi-voice music too. But the screen shake effect is a fairly easy thing to do in the gimme, but it's not something that's built into OS 9 or Nitrous 9 currently. So I'm imagining he's just rewriting gimme registers manually, but it's a nice effect. And his little video that he did here on Facebook will show you some of the effect being used in multiple Sierra games. So you'll see some King's Quest and Space Quest, etc.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
There, like he just crash landed the whole screen shakes.
The souvenirs.
This is literally almost what happens when I walk to my car in the snow and slip.
Bud.
So it's kind of cool. So he's updated them all. Now, I did read somewhere recently that somebody was trying to play King's Quest 3, but on some partway through the game, it actually screws up and doesn't let you play any further.
Yeah,
and I think that's on the EOU one, which is directly copied from the original that Guillaume did on separate disk images. So I know somebody suggested maybe trying the archive version. He may have fixed it since the last time I did the update. So if that is true, I'll have to make sure the next version of EOU has the fixed version. I just don't have time to like play through every single Sierra game to make sure everything works. So I'm kind of just
getting to end.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll figure that out and get that fixed up fairly soon. But thanks to Guillaume to updating that for adding that effect. We'll have to eventually get stuff to work with some of the sound cards too, so we can actually get some of the music. Next, after that, we have some updates from Thomas Cherryholmes of FujiNet fame. So Eric Carr has extended the 5-card stud game, which has been out for a while on multiple platforms. You can play against people on Ataris and Apple IIs, etc. But he's actually now fixed this up for the CoCo 3 specifically. So it's now using, he calls it 40 column gimme modes. Basically, he's meaning the 320 horizontal resolution and a 16 color screen. And he's actually got screenshots, if you're watching the video here, of both what it looks like in composite and RGB, because of course, there's not exact color matches between them. It's a little bit different, but pretty close. And it's definitely, I think, a bit more readable than the CoCo 1 and 2 ones, where you got a limited palette and a smaller horizontal resolution. So I don't know if they're going to be planning on doing this for some of the other games like Battleship and stuff as well. But it's nice to see the CoCo 3 getting some specific love from FujiNet. And once the cartridge version of FujiNet's out that actually can be IRQ driven and stuff and transfer an entire byte across at a time rather than a bit at a time, I think we'll be able to maybe even get into some arcade style games with some of the other platforms. Because the speed, the amount of overhead the CPU's got to do is going to be much, much less. And lastly, I'm going to change this because Aaron actually sent me an up-to-date link here during the show today. But they're having a little special CoCo episode of the CoCo Show tomorrow. This will be live streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern, November the 30th, Sunday, tomorrow. It's a special holiday edition of the CoCo Show. This time they're going to be playing, and Ken will like this, it's Quicks, which is another Kicks clone. So there's just clones all over the place. The Game on Challenge, both games are clones, and they're doing one more tomorrow too. So if you're a fan of Kicks in the arcade, we had multiple clones of that on the CoCo. We had QI. The one you're seeing on the screen here is originally from Tom Mix. Which one's a better one? I think Kicks, the Spectre one, I think is technically a little bit closer to the arcade gameplay and the way the monsters operate and stuff, or the lines. I personally found this version actually a little bit better to play. So your opinion may vary. But anyway, they'll be doing a live streaming this on both Twitch and on YouTube. I will post the link, if it lets me, into the current chat so people watching the stream can grab that URL from there. And yeah, definitely pop by because they usually check out the chat room. So if you guys have any comments while they're playing it, or tips and tricks or comments on the game itself, feel free to join and do so. That's what I got for Game On news. So I'm now going to switch to regular news. And there's a bit more there. Okay, you guys should be seeing some stuff in German here.
Not yet.
Assuming I picked the right screen.
Come on. You started screen sharing, but you're sharing no screen. There.
Oh, it's going that slow? That's not going to bode well.
Oh, geez. Have we lost? He's moving again.
Okay, yeah. I just saw you guys freeze up and then it came back too, so it must be a connection problem between.
Sasktel again.
Could be, or it could be somewhere in the middle. Who knows at this point?
Right.
Anyway, if you guys are seeing the picture here that has like the Educator 64 and this. So basically this is a German YouTube channel. And called Deutschland früher. And Deutschland, of course, means Germany. But basically it's a retro one. And basically the title of this particular episode is 20 Forgotten Home Computers That Were World Class. And it goes through a bunch of them. Common ones like the Commodore 64, etc. But the Dragon 32 actually made the mix too. So I'm going to play a little bit of that. I'll just turn the sound down a bit here because I don't think too many of us speak German natively. But you can use that wonderful YouTube thing of doing closed captioning. And with English translation turned on, which it looks like I already did. And we'll play just a little bit at the beginning here.
30. Der Dragon 32 war der Computer, der fast groß geworden wäre. 1982 von der walisischen Firma Dragon Data vorgestellt, war er technisch einer der
I do know some of their technical on multiple machines, including the Dragons, a little bit off from actual facts, but it's pretty close. They got most of it right.
Hätte er ein ernsthafter Konkurrent für Commodore und Atari werden können, wenn nicht das Schicksal dazwischen gekommen wäre. Das Design war unverwechselbar. Ein flaches, graues Gehäuse mit
I'm not going to play the whole thing here because obviously you should go check out their own channel and get their link counts up there. But yeah, it's a pretty good rundown of a bunch of machines. There's a few of them that are quite rare that I think there's even one or two I hadn't even heard of before. So that was kind of cool. But definitely check it out if you don't speak native German, which most of us don't. Definitely turn on the closed captioning. You can translate to the language of your choice. Next up that, we have a person named Rami Pinku. And he posted a short video called The First Program I Ever Wrote on a Dragon 32, 1980s Tech Memories. And he gives a bit of history of it here in the description. Where he said, in the early 1980s, the Dragon 32 is my entire universe. The very first program I ever wrote was a simple basic loop that changes screen colors using CLS with a bit of a time delay. It was nothing, but it changed everything. He was born in 1977, meaning growing up right at the transition from analog to digital. So he was born like just 5 years before the Dragon came out, actually. But yeah, it's a very simple program, and he kind of like just types it in kind of live and then, runs the program itself. And I think a lot of us did this when we first got our CoCo. Someone started figuring out a couple of the basic commands there. You want to make the screen do funky things. You might fiddle with the sound or play command or something, but it kind of stirred memories back from when I, first got it home, when I'd been used to an Apple and I tried to do an H plot right off the bat and that didn't work. That's when I discovered BASIC is not the same on all machines. Next up after that, we have a couple from PD, or from Brian Blake on his blog, Scoping the Murphy's Law CoCo. This is a CoCo he received from Brian Weasler. And if Brian's still on, he might be able to describe a little bit about that. But basically it was a non-functioning one that Brian's been working on fixing and actually got working here. So he did a couple parts on it, one just kind of describing the CoCo and the symptoms it was having. And then he goes through about, buying a scope to try to, figure out what was going wrong and how to fix it, et cetera. So the whole nice big long, he's got a lot of screenshots from the results he's getting back from his scope and kind of explaining what all is going on. So it's kind of fun to see a deep dive into here and, trying to figure out, the gimme and how it works, et cetera. Next up, we have a blog from, I think the username is PW32X on our Discord. His blog is called I Don't Know What I'm Doing, which is kind of like a biography thing for me, autobiography. But he's been alternating between a couple of different projects. But one of the projects he's been doing is he's been reverse engineering Downland and then porting it to other platforms. And in this particular last week or so here, he's actually done 3 blog updates. This first one is kind of his introduction that he's reverse engineering Downland, with some screenshots and kind of explaining, you know, his ties with the game when he was young, and then, you know, running through debuggers and stuff trying to figure out how it works. And then his second one was pickups and scoring. So he kind of goes through and figures out from his own disassembly of the program here exactly how that works, and gives you a little bit of details here of some of the stuff that's doing internally. And this last one actually gets here on figuring out how the acid drops work, which is kind of an interesting thing here. Because it basically, the way it compresses the data is that we'll pick these vertical areas with a horizontal limit of where they can appear, and then it starts checking the pixels nearby to figure out where it's going to place the acid drop. And depending on what skill level you're on, like if you already wrapped through all of the screens and you're on like a rotating one, it becomes harder because some of the acid drops are far enough aside from, say, a rope that you won't get hit. But on later ones, it'll move it in, so you actually have to like throw yourself to the side and hang on with one hand.
First, you can go to one side, but then it gets to the point you just got to leave the friggin' rope and bounce off a wall or something and hit you.
Yeah. And he kind of goes into that here. Like he's showing all the different alternate places these drops can be placed, which on like a little like, roof base like this, it's not that bad. But on the ropes, yeah, that can definitely become fatal. It also shows that it will only come closer on the one side, not both sides. So that's a little trick you can use. But as he points out in his description, sometimes you'll get acid drops coming off both ends. And if you're hanging on with one hand to avoid a drop on the right side, you're sticking out far enough, you'll get hit by the left side. So he said that, you know, a lot of times you'll just get killed anyway. Right. But it's definitely a much more challenging.
And the trick is
the game. You guys go through the algorithm on how it actually determines this type of stuff too, which is really cool. And then how the acid drops will wiggle and they get updated, so that it only updates half of them at a time, each screen refresh, but it'll update the wiggle part. Oh, go ahead. I'm beginning to suspect somebody here is playing a big game on their PlayStation 5 downstairs, and that's why my bandwidth is going to hell.
Oh.
So I'm going to take a risk here and actually plug in my Ethernet, which my router's been overheating lately, so this may prove to be even worse, but we'll try it.
You need a little desk fan to point at it.
You need to
take the
hack that router and get you some dedicated bandwidth.
Yeah, well, I've got an updated router downstairs, but it's far enough away I don't get great bandwidth on it because it's like 3 floors away. So I probably have to patchwork a booster or something.
Hang the router outside the window.
Yeah, I can overclock it then because I automatically cool it with the snow.
Yeah.
So he's got an explanation of like how many drops can it spawn? How do the drops get updated per frame or every second frame? You okay, Mark?
Me, yeah.
Mark B. Yeah. Okay, I heard a big scratch sound came from you.
Yeah. Oh, that's because I got my mic so close now. Can't take a drink.
Yeah. And it hints at the next blog posting here will be talking a bit more about the drop system, about how the collisions and stuff are handled. So he's going into a nice deep dive of Downland. Which, of course, we've seen being ported to multiple platforms. There's another guy who's been porting it to the Amiga recently, too. So kind of like Daggerath, it's kind of a platform-defining game. Downland's one of the ones that's the most popular, I think. So
and this game, it has a lot of wrinkles in it that aren't obvious, like this whole drop system. It's really complicated for a one-system game. It's not just Downline's pretty deep. You can spend a lot of time playing it and still not know everything that you can know. So I'm glad to see this. And he's back.
Yeah, I was watching you like stutter. So yeah, I think the bandwidth is getting sucked here even when I'm plugged in. Oh, well, I'll just keep slogging through and hopefully it's somewhat understandable. If I get
Yeah,
completely lost for a while, let me know.
Every once in a while you stop, but you seem to know. So
Yeah, this time it's not my router. Like my router has a green light that means everything's working fine. And I know when it starts overheating and starts rebooting itself, it turns orange. It's not doing that. So it's not the router I'm on right now. It's on either the bandwidth generally in the house or just, crappy connection from here to you guys.
the guy down the block, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll blame him. Bastard. Okay, anyway. Next up, we get Alan Huffman posted a blog entry on his Subetha software page on how to view and convert image files from the Microworks DS69 digitizer, which are .pix files, to modern machines using GIMP. Now, Ron, you've obviously a big proponent of I think you had the 69B, like the CoCo 3 version?
I had the A and the B, yeah. I had the A and it broke. And I sent it in to them and they upgraded it and sent it back to me.
Here, have a better one. Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I know we've got a couple picture viewers. I think the projector by Roger Taylor, the view program by Tim Cancel on OS9 actually can view these pictures. The original CoCo ones were done kind of rendered as just straight black and white with dithering on P mode 4. The CoCo 3 actually took advantage of the 640 mode and with the grayscale we have to do more finely detailed pictures. But it's pretty well raw data. There's no header really. So what Alan had figured out here is if you're using GIMP, there is a raw data image thing called raw image data that you can select.
Awesome.
And then you can kind of specify the specs of how it works. And then it actually will figure it out. And here's a picture that he took with the DS69B.
And now it's
64 grayscale mode.
And now it's universal with everything in the world because once it's in GIMP.
Yep. Then you can save it out, export it as a JPEG or a GIF or GIF or whatever. Yeah. So that's really cool that he figured that out because, I mean, GIMP's free. It's on Linux, it's on Windows, it's on Mac. So basically, if you have old DS69 pictures, you want to convert them to a modern format to share with the world on modern computers, he explains exactly how to do that. Ron, have you ever had to do that or have you ever played with this kind of thing?
I've done stuff like that with, back in the day, I had the very first, I think, I can't remember the name of it. It was an old Casio, it's like 3 or 2 megapixel camera, and it had its own QVC QV standard, and you couldn't. It was basically JPEG, and it had a conversion program where you could look at each of the little files. Then there were tiny little pictures, but I've been able to use a program like that one to it takes the raw data and makes a picture again. And then you can, what's neat about it is, you can make it just a little bit bigger and, enhance it a little bit and actually mess with them. And it's kind of fun. It's not the same, it's similar because it's low res and it's color though. Whereas these, I think, were pretty much black and white. I think they, didn't the DS69B have some 16 color?
Yeah, 16 grayscale images here it's mentioning.
But it wasn't, it didn't relate to anything. I mean, it was like, 60s art.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, people had projects where they stuck 3 filters in front of a digitizer to make color. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Nick, you actually did a digitizer that basically scanned in grayscale as well, but you had the option of having the filters where you could flip between scan a red, scan a green, scan a blue, and then would kind of page flip, right?
The infamous 4096 color mode, because theoretically, if you hit all 3 of those, fast enough,
it wasn't quite. I think with dithering, you can kind of fake it that way, but
with 16, 16 grayscales by 3 colors is supposedly 4096, right?
It's a lot of fun playing with old pictures.
It was, yeah, because
versions.
Computers didn't do this. I mean,
no.
For better or worse, that's Alan. I recognize him.
Yeah.
I just made a big explanation and realized I had mute on. So
oh, nice. So recreate your steps.
I'm going to remember what I just said. My program, if you had a 16 level dither, you could modify each of those 16 grays to a palette color, and my program showed up a 64 color palette screen, and you chose the colors, and you updated the 16 colors in real time, so you can visually pick visually pick the best 16 colors. So that's when you got that 60s art yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like false color. You had to sign your own.
Yeah.
It didn't actually read color. So
no, that's right. So it's the 16 false colors, what I used to call it.
But your 4096 color was basically
that one used filters, for red, green, and blue.
Yeah, and you read a 640 by 200 4-color grayscale, and then you page flip with dithering, I guess, to add it up to the extra.
That's right.
You know, in astronomy, when you take pictures of the sky, deep sky objects, they have a red, green, and blue filter that you take pictures through, and then a white luminance photo, and then you combine them in software, and you get a color rendition of what it is you're taking a picture of, and that's supposed to be more pure, or at least, like RGB is.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Nick was doing with his, because you have 3 different ones. You have red, green, and blue. You didn't have a luminance one. In fact, in astronomy, I think they have other ones. If like you're trying to detect certain gases, that's what they start using yellows and cyans to represent. This is oxygen, and this is whatever else. But
yeah, I have a camera back in the day. It's a Canon 40D, and they took and made the filter in it on the red side. And when I took pictures of the sky, it would be more red sensitive, and you get more detail.
Yeah,
but you'd have to play with it.
Kind of the atmosphere killer. Yeah.
And if I remember, Nick, didn't you had a 3D option too, where you would actually take 2 pictures, but you'd move the camera left to right a little bit, so you get the full 3D effect.
You can do a simulated 3D.
Yeah,
sweet.
You'll see some of that on Ron's Garage. If you go and search, you can find it. I've done both where it's shifted red and blue, and then it has the side by side.
Yeah, so remember the stereoscopic looked pretty cool with Nick's stuff there on the later version of the Rascan software, I think it was.
So the red blue, I can use my old Mad Magazine glasses to get the 3D. Yeah. Okay.
Next up with that, we have Alderson Retro Computing released a couple of YouTube short videos about the CoCo. He's got one just showing some shrunk wrap OS9 software from Radio Shack and the prices that he bought them at. Most of these were done as Radio Shack was starting to clear stuff out, so it was a lot cheaper. Like this is OS9 level 1 for only $29, including the assembler. I think it was like $70 brand new. I won't bother playing the video here, but he's got one here on just showing the CoCo 3 in general, just kind of fired it up. And then he did another YouTube short here showing color baseball on real hardware on a modern TV in composite mode to get the proper colors. Actually, it turns out pretty good. I mean, there's not as much RF interference anymore because, of course, all the old VHF channels are gone, so you're not combating with them. Next up, CoCo Town returns, and this time he's doing a tech dive into the paint command as implemented by Microsoft. And he compares it with another algorithm, which is probably used, I think, more these days, but it requires a lot more memory and it's slower. So he's kind of figuring out what are the shortcuts that Microsoft did so it didn't take so much RAM to keep track of where to resume painting after you finished a little section. As usual, he does it with a little bit of humor. I'm going to, also I mentioned he's got outtakes at the end. I won't spoil those here, but I'll just play a little bit beginning where he's kind of explaining exactly what he's doing. But you definitely, if you want to get into a technical deep dive of paint, and he's planning a follow-up with some more technical details behind the scenes about the paint command, definitely worthwhile watching.
When I was a kid, the basic command on my TRS-80 CoCo that intrigued me the most was the paint command. It was like a robot with crayons, automatically coloring in any shape I could think of. You simply tell Paint where to start, what color to paint, and what color border it should stay within. Somehow the command figured out the rest, coloring through all the nooks and crannies, but never crossing over the border. It seemed to have a life of its own. It would explore down a path, maybe leave some parts for later, but it would always come back to them. How does it work? Today, jaw-dropping illustrations and sophisticated visualizations developed with powerful emulator scripting unlock the secrets of how 1980s-era computers turned your TV into a coloring book. Prepare for the ride of your life as we solve the mystery of paint.
Yep, I love his sense of humor on these things. But he goes into a really good technical deep dive on it. Like I said, he's got a follow-up for some of the details of paint as well later on. But he goes through quite a bit of it, and he compares it with the other algorithm, which technically works, but you can see the amount of memory it uses when it actually crashes his CoCo doing it that way, when he wrote code to do it. So definitely worthwhile if you want to figure out how that all works. Next up, the YouTube channel called Hirudov, Hirudov. I put up several videos showing kind of the relative speed of Microsoft Basic and different versions of it on the CoCo. And he tries CoCo 1, CoCo 2, CoCo 3. He's running Color Basic 1, Extended Basic 1, 1.1, etc. There's not much of a change between those for speed. There's a little bit because of the way the break key was handled on 1.2, I think, Color Basic, because they changed the keyboard routines. So there's not too much interesting. Also, because he's testing this on the 639, Basic has no clue about a 609, so it's not running native mode. It's not doing anything. It's just running in emulation mode, so it's the same speed as 609. And he doesn't use a speed up pokes on any of these machines either, so everything's running at 0.895 megahertz, so it's not much of a comparison. He does throw in a bunch of different CoCos from CoCo 1, 2, 2B, 3, and with or without extended basic, etc. He does a Dragon 64 as well, which of course that has a Microsoft basic interpreter that's very similar to the CoCos, except some tokenization changes. But then the one part I do want to show, and I won't bother running this particular one here, I just wanted to kind of show you what one of the screens was, is he did one here for the Color 64 Novo Tempo, which is apparently a CoCo clone I wasn't aware of. At least I don't remember it. Do I need the music? Have you guys heard of this particular machine? I know this is a Brazilian clone or something.
Oh.
Now he types a little basic program just to do a couple little things as far as speed compared. This is basically the same as the rest of them because it's another Microsoft Basic derivative. But yeah, I mean, the 609, if you don't patch Basic, and Sockmaster has issued a patch, it's got a few little quirky bugs in it. And I think William Asta was kind of fiddling with it at 1.2. But unless it actually knows about 609, takes advantage of it, it's not going to change the speed whatsoever. That's why you run Nitrous 9, because our Basic 9 is tweaked like hell for the base, 609 chip. And there's more coming, so. This was a rather interesting one. It's just a little 3-minute video from a YouTube channel called All Things MSP. And he's kind of a guy that does a lot of YouTube videos on more modern machines, but he decided to go back here and kind of show off what was his original machine when he was a kid, which was in this case, he's got a gray, but the later model gray CoCo here with more RAM. But his original was a 4K, probably a D board, just like I had, what I started with. And he does a little bit of a video kind of just showing off what it can do. And he's got some plans on doing some future videos with it in the after he gets some hardware. He wants to get like a cassette deck and stuff. I actually left him a comment. I mentioned the CoCo SDC because I'm not sure if he's aware of that. Because you can emulate the floppy drives and even hard drives with that, and then you can hit the archive, of course, and just get thousands of programs for it. So I'll play just a little bit at the beginning, though, and then we'll go on to the next one.
Hey guys, Eric here, and I have something fun for us today. I have a Radio Shack color computer, and I probably should have adjusted this so you guys see less of me. Oh, hold on. And more.
He's even got one of the original full-size manuals, which were the better ones, in my opinion.
There we go. And let me try and move back so I actually stay in frame here. But this is a Radio Shack color computer, Model 1. The original one, the newer ones, the Model 2, are in a white case. This is very similar to the exact computer that I had, my first computer growing up. There are a couple of pieces I don't have that I may acquire along the way. These used to actually store their files and their programs on a cassette tape.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get the idea, the feel for it here, but he kind of goes into more an explanation of what he had back in the day. and then what he's planning to get to kind of get it up to snuff to do some more videos for it. So I'll be following his channel just to see when he comes out and exactly what he plans to cover. I don't know how much programming he did, but he did do some fairly advanced stuff, because near the end of the video, he actually pulls out an EdTasm Plus cartridge and plugs that sucker in. So he said he actually learned a semi-language on it back when he was young. Also, just a quick update. Eric Montero actually just mentioned that the Color 64 is a Brazilian clone. So that is one of the clones that basically was CoCo 1 and 2 compatible. Next up, TRS-80 Retro Programming. He's been finally fiddling around with the CoCo 3 emulation, because he's been using TRS-80 GP to do a lot of his basic game programs and stuff for years now, actually, for CoCo 1 and 2. And he never had a CoCo 3 back in the day. He had a CoCo 2 with cassette. I don't think he even had a disk drive back when he was young. Now he's running a VCC and running CoCo 3. And he's been kind of going through the manual and kind of figuring out commands. And this is his video where he's first using it. He actually quite likes the fact that the hprint command exists, because you don't have to like design your own fonts and use draw to draw them all. You just hprint and away you go. And of course, you've got, higher resolution. You've got more colors to choose from. Now, one thing that confused him, and this, I remember this confused me a little bit too when I first got the CoCo 3, is that the default palettes for the 16 colors in a 320 16 color mode is 2 sets of 8 repeating. And mainly that's because of the hardware text screens, because your foreground and your background colors are matching. So if you want to invert, white on red to red on white, you just pick the same color numbers for the background and foreground from 0 to 7, or is it 1 to 8? I think it's 0 to 7. So basically it repeats the colors. And he said he was trying all these 16 colors. And of course, because he hasn't gotten to the palette command yet, it's just repeating the same colors. He's going, I've only got 8. What are you talking about?
Don't work.
Yeah, they do work. It's just, they're programmed to be the same. Now palette commands, I mean, one, you can set the palettes, so you have 16 unique ones, but you can also do palette animation, which means you can draw something, slightly shifted using these rotating palette numbers. And if you actually just tell it to rotate through them, you can actually animate things and covering the entire screen in almost no time at all. Which if I remember, the Color Computer 3 basic manual includes one where it draws a bunch of circles and some also horizontal lines, and then starts using the palette command to like animate so the lines look like they're moving, shifting down, and the circles are all changing colors instantly. It's just going wicked fast. So if you actually do some fiddling with the palette animation, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Like even some machine language games will use the palettes. Like Xenix is an example. It's a really high speed game, but all the flame effects on your ship and the explosion effects for the aliens and yourselves are all sharing the same palettes that it's rotating through, and it rotates like reds and yellows and oranges and that kind of stuff. And it does all these, high intensity explosions, of which, if you're in a very busy game, that can be literally like 3/4 of the entire screen's blowing up at once. And it's all done just with palette changes. So it's really, really fast. You don't have to redraw everything like we had to do in the CoCo 1 and 2 days. So I'm hoping you'll do some playing around with that, because I think you'll be pretty impressed with what you can accomplish with the palette command. Next out of that, we actually got an update from Eric Montero, which we've been kind of following this White Rock ingots. And he's actually filming this on a real TV, a real tube CRT TV at that. And this is a Semi-Graphics 4 game, I believe, but he's got the characters you can run around and jump and pick up treasures and stuff. And there's sound effects. And I think this is written with UG Basic as well. So like the other one we'd mentioned earlier, this is another Microgames Basic port. So it's a compiled Basic, so it runs faster. And I don't think it's too long, so I'll just play it. There's your Spearman. But he's even got like animations for jumping and crawling and falling and everything else too. So it's quite well done, considering the resolution here is like literally 64 by 32. Multiple screens. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Downland.
It's better than Downland.
Yeah, animation-wise, I think it is actually.
Yeah, it is. No, it's brilliant.
Yeah, what he does with Semi-Graphics 4 just blows my mind.
Right.
There you fell into the lava pit. So he said he's got the basic engine is now done. He said there's a release candidate test. Works very fast for an analog control. And I'm really curious to see what can be done with this. Like if he releases the source code, if he doesn't want to take the game too much further himself here. I'm sure some of the basic programmers like Retro Rick or somebody could probably take this and just go nuts with it if they want to get familiar with Microgames Basic, which of course you have to edit on a modern machine, and the commands are more modern style Basic, but it will compile down to an MC10 or a CoCo, and you can pull stuff off like this with sound effects and flip screens and all kinds of stuff. Next up is one that I missed earlier because this actually was posted on November the 9th, so 3 weeks ago. And it's Nicole Express, which is not a page I was familiar with, but she's a game writer, and she's got her own HIO channel if you want to see those. But she mentions here at the beginning, she says, since at least March of 2019, the Color Computer 2, the Tiny Color Computer, is sat there teasing me. It's got a Motorola 6847, the tragically disappointing graphics chip, as she puts it. I mean, it's an older one from 78, but that is true. It's got some pretty limited palettes, and I'm sure Nick can tell you how bad the pastel palette is for writing games.
Yeah.
But he said paired with the terrifyingly powerful Motorola 6809 CPU. So she does know, what parts of the hardware are the strength and which ones are the weakness. But she actually pulls it out here and kind of goes through some pictures. You can see a little bit of scraping and stuff. And she's got a 2B as well, but looks of it here. So I think she's got the T1 lowercase chip, which is also cool. And she basically wanted to modify it because she was getting some pretty crappy video quality, and she wants to get it to composite. So this is what she was getting out of the RF can. And I know in a lot of people's cases, the RF actually comes up pretty good now because there's not much interference from corresponding TV channels anymore because most of those don't broadcast. But I think hers, in her case, it just had a crappy RF can or something's wrong inside of it or something. So she got one of the duplicates of the old Mark Data Products composite one, which seems to be a fairly common one to do. And then she explains how she built it and hooked it up and all that kind of stuff here. And then she got a much, much better quality picture here. But then she said when she was trying to do some stuff, she was getting this kind of really thinned out, little bit herringbone pattern stuff. Like not as bad as the RF was, but it's not perfect. And then she finds out that she's got at least 32K of RAM. I would say she's got 64 for sure, because I don't think the CoCo 2 and 2B was ever sold with anything but 16 or 64. And she said the 0 has a line through it. This confirms it's an upgraded Motorola 6847 T1. So it should be possible to show lowercase text. And of course, Tandy never updated the basic ROMs for that either, which is absolutely true. There's a couple pokes you can do, and I was actually going to send her something on how to enable that mode so she could try it out, but there's no way to send anything to her that I can find. I don't know if any of you follow her, maybe on HIO or some of her other retro projects, or if you're on some of the social platforms she's on, maybe you can send a message we can help her out with how to get the lowercase and stuff working on there, and changing the border color, inverse video on off, and all other kind of stuff that the T1
isn't that her email just there on the bottom of the page?
I thought it was, but at Nicole at Old Bytes, is that legit? I guess I could try it. But the link is actually a HTTP site, not a mail to, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remove the first at and try that.
It's not a good domain, I don't think.
Could do that. Oh, Rick, you checking out your CoCo?
I don't think that's a valid
snow barometer.
Space. Oh, the snow barometer. Yeah, where are we at? We're oh, what's going on? There's some guy checking the door here. Oh, it's gonna be
it's gonna steal your scope there.
No, it's going to be a guy sticking advertising on my front door that I can throw away later.
Anyway, next up, we've got some MC10 news. The first one is Robert C. We haven't heard from him in a while, but he's done some pretty cool stuff with the MC10. He's done some machine language programming with graphics molds, etc. So what he's been doing is he's been writing a program to convert 256 or 512 color JPEG style images, or basically more modern stuff, into stuff that can be matched with semi-graphics, etc. Now, most of the examples you've been showing here, like the MC10 is capable of using a version of the CoCo VGA. And one of the things that does is it gives you a 2K text screen instead of a half K text screen, which means you basically get 64 by 32 text, but you also get all the semi-graphics, which gives you an effective resolution of 128 by 64. So he's been converting, some of these pictures here, like you see a 256 color picture here on the left, and you convert it into the higher res CoCo VGA mode with the 9 colors you have available there. And actually, it's a recognizable version of it. And he's done a few of these. I'm not going to play a whole bunch of them here. And he does some explanation of getting into it and mapping even like ASCII text characters to it. But they're pretty recognizable, especially with the CoCo VGA. I mean, the standard 64 by 32 mode of SG4 is a little coarse. Some of the stuff you can recognize, but quadrupling the resolution so it's twice as wide and twice as high actually does bring out enough detail you can start recognizing things.
60s art, as Ron called it.
Yeah. And here he's actually experimenting with some of the alternate color set text characters here that you can actually get some things like, the vertical lines and stuff. So they're actually mixing a bit of text with it. You can even see here, it's kind of like gradiating some of the colors here by using like an inverse red palette or a color set, I should say, W, or an asterisk and an F here in the standard foreground color, but we're using the orange palette. So he's actually getting some extra colors out of there too. And that, I think this is the last one he did just most recently. I'm sure you guys can recognize this one. First of all, do you recognize who it is and then what movie?
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, you guys all nailed it. So obviously the semi-graphics is good enough to display something you can recognize. There you go.
I asked him if he's going to do a similar program to like CoCo VGA, where you can take with the PNG files and turn them into VG6.
Well, that's kind of what he's been doing here. So he's kind of already doing that. Just specifically for the MC10
package that the average guy off the street with a
that's true. He was doing it, I think, with a custom program he's been writing or something, or a script for a graphic editor.
That's what I'm hoping. It'd be great. I would start contributing.
And then we got a couple posts from a person named Andrew Petrie concerning the Alice. And this is the original version of the Alice that is the MC10 compatible one. So, of course, it's got the red case, or he's got a character of an MC10 here, but he's got all these stuff we've covered before. Because, of course, the Alice was a red-themed computer. There was a clone of it, an officially sanctioned clone from Tandy, to be fair. It's not a Brazilian style clone.
It's the official red-headed
it's stepchild of the MC10. But there's been a lot of modern hardware being made for it. Like this is kind of a multi-pack interface and a cartridge slot as well. And then there's like joystick adapters and all kinds of stuff too that we've seen before. So he's been kind of going through and publishing some pictures of them here. I'll just zoom up here for those of you who've not seen these before. So he's actually got some of the multiple cartridges games here on the cart. You can actually just load for instant load instead of using cassette or even the drive wire style. I can't remember what the protocol on the MC10's called. It's not drive wire, but similar in concept. But these little cartridges actually have games from Inufudo already pre-installed, and you just plug them in and you get a menu and bang, you go in and start playing them.
It's not just games from Inufudo. The original launch titles for the MC10 and Alice are available. And I got Ghost Rush and Pac-Man.
All right, yeah.
So
the Flagon Bird's another one that's been ported.
they can he's figured out how to make a cartridge launcher for quite a bit of the MC10 stuff.
Nice.
Now you see here, unlike the SpriteWorks one, which is basically just mapping one axis at a time, this actually is doing both axes simultaneously. Now you do have to write extra code to do that.
Yeah, it looks like an Atari joystick, and it sits on a port. So you actually read it. It's not just hacking in keyboard codes.
Is that like J Mondays?
No, that's what we're just talking about. Like this actually handles both axes at the same time. Well, Jay's is more like a paddle style controller, so it'll do just X or just Y at a time.
So is this just digital, but all four ways? Is that what's
Yes.
going on?
Alan, do you know? Yeah, okay.
Yes. It's just like the Atari stick interface. It's just on a different address than you would see it on a CoCo.
Okay.
It's on B4 or something.
Can those cartridges be programmed like ROM?
Yes, and the information on how to do it is out there on his GitHub.
Neat. Do you know what size they are?
Yeah, they're just about as long as my thumb.
16K.
As far as how much space is in the cartridge,
Yeah.
I believe he goes up to 8K.
Oh.
There may be a 16K one, but I'm not sure on that.
These are kind of small. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say.
This is one of the cartridge ROMs here, like the inside, what the board looks like.
And it shows you, I mean, the ROM chip is as wide as the cartridge itself.
Do you see what
right.
it says there?
So it's
it says
thumb.
cartouche.
There's one of the menus there where you can actually pick which game you wanted to play.
All right.
And you can see one of the Infuto games actually running with the splash screen there.
Yeah, for the Infuto ones, he puts like 3 or 4 of them on the one cartridge as a little collection, and then it has the menu and the loader that puts them in the right place.
Nice.
But like Ghost Rush, Pac-Man, and Lost Valley Pinball were just the one on each cartridge. But I mean, it's on his stuff. It's clear when you go to order any of that. It's clear that this is a pack and this is just a single and things like that. But you don't have to buy any of their stuff. All the plans are out there. You can make your own if you have that equipment.
But will you have a new Computes Gazette?
Well, you figured if Jim Gary put his
He
games
does.
on those cartridges, then he'd have a new house.
Yeah.
Yep, there's the Pac-Man.
Sweet.
Yeah, not a bad port. And they've ported like Space Assault from the CoCo. They've ported that, backported that to the MC10.
And it's modified from the MC10 version to work with that joystick.
Yeah.
I think of Jason when I see this.
Yeah, because he usually has this one running as the demo when he's set up as
Yeah.
MC10 at CoCoFEST or VCF, etc.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And then speaking of Spriteworks and J Mundy, he's got his own little video here where he's actually he ordered an HDMI adapter basically for the MC10, which he had just kind of raw hanging off the back of his SDX32 SD or whatever the heck that thing's called. And he was actually explaining in this video here that's being held on with elastic band, and he was getting kind of tired of that. So he contacted Aaron over at Retro Hack Shack, who made the original board, but he also now makes 3D printed enclosure or making enclosures for it. So this video is basically him ordering and then taking the enclosure and putting it together and showing you what it looks like. So I'll just play a little bit at the very beginning here just to kind of give you the feel for it, but you definitely should check out the video. You want to check it out. This is stuff you can actually actively order from Retro Hack Shack, like right now type thing if you wanted to, both the case and the actual board. And then you can actually drive an HDMI modern TV right from your MC10.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing an unboxing of a device that I've been waiting to order for a long time because it hasn't been in stock for a long time. And it's exciting for me because it's for an item related to the TRS-80 MC10 computer, which you may have seen me do some videos on my channel about that previously. And in particular, I did one video where I built a video device which allows the MC10 computer to output HDMI video, which is amazing. But I've never had a proper way to mount that device to the computer or have it installed in a way that's sort of semi-permanent and stable. It's always been kind of just attached to my computer in a kind of wonky manner, which I'm going to show you right now. So here you can see my MC10 computer, and this is the device I'm referring to, which is an HDMI video output device. And as you can see, it is just elastic banded to this MCX32 SD expansion module, which is an amazing device as well. And you can see one of the rubber bands actually has broken. So I have a broken rubber band back here, and this thing is just hanging on by a thread. So
anyway, yeah, he's going to fix it up properly with a properly designed specifically for this board. And Aaron at Retro Hack Shack actually has these back in stock now, both the the case and the board itself if you want to do this kind of an upgrade.
It looks
So,
like he's got a
and-
spacer on his MC10.
Well, of
Yeah,
course,
was that?
for all the extra boards.
A black spacer.
Yeah, look
going
how thick it is.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Pi key in it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the Pi key expansion.
You thought he typed all that code on the MC10 keyboard?
If he's a sadomasochist, sure. See, that's a problem. Like with all these different upgrades here, do you want this upgrade or do you want to get the CoCo VGA once it's available again? Because I know they're working on the re-release of that. Because that also goes in the middle. Can you stack them? I don't know.
Oh yeah, which
think you
middle
can.
level do you want? Can you stack them?
Well, if you have more
Yeah.
than one MC10, no problem.
Type with
That's
both
true, I
hands.
guess.
Yeah,
And you do stack them and then have a dual monitor MC10.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess
my
how many
gosh.
people here on the panel, for example, or in the chat actually have more than one MC10 in their possession?
I have 3.
That's where they all went.
Yeah.
You're like the Brian Weasler of the MC10 world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the number of windows he has to hold up.
Oh, it gets hot in Arizona. I can definitely see.
And all the doors won't prop open right.
Right.
Needs more.
That's what the ZX81s are for.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they slide under the doors,
It's-
and then the MC10s go under the windows. Yeah.
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 So I have to say, once you take a look, I'm not going to
Fun.
spoil it. You have to watch the video, but the final product with the case on actually looks really, really nice. So,
Nice.
and I'm hoping that somebody starts making the SD32, or so the 32X, or whatever the heck the thing's called.
SD,
Ron,
yeah.
you probably know better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
because I mean,
somebody's gonna do it.
that's absolutely necessary for a lot of the new software development that's coming out for it, including J's, and it's no longer manufactured and hasn't been for a couple years now. So I'm hoping somebody else can
That's a problem.
talk to Ed and maybe see if we can get it getting made by some other manufacturer, so that this stuff doesn't just get abandoned and just the lucky 150 people that ordered these. they
It
won't
has
ever see
been it has been built individually according to the original plans, and that stuff sorted out to the point where it's a working from the original plans. But whether that can be mass built or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, because isn't the original design? It wasn't really Ed. It wasn't that Darren Atkinson.
Yes.
So if he can make an
and all the
arrangement with somebody
materials-
like Jim or Frank or somebody,
Yeah.
Maybe boysenberry.
Boysenberry.
The boysenberry 10.
Richard's going to shoot you, Ron.
I know it. Between that and asking him to put the beard back on.
Right.
Think of all the jam jokes we can get out of this.
Anyway, it's a cool project. It looks really nice in the finalized form. I do hope these SD card adapters with RAM expansion, extended basic, and everything else it has in it is going to get into manufacture again, just like the CoCo VGA. I know Mark and Brendan are working on that and are hoping to have it out within the next couple months. The SDC2, of course, will be coming out from Frank and Darren here in the next month or two. Hopefully, it's a little bit behind schedule from what I understand, but they're pretty close. And yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff that'll be out here for the MC10 and the CoCos here in the new year. So looking forward to that. Hopefully, we'll get to see some of that on Mark's big show. Which since I've done the regular news here, I'll just switch over to the upcoming shows, and that's one of them. So Mark will be able to tell you about that.
You can tell that MC10 users are excited about getting more software. So pretty soon we'll have a 1 terabyte SD card, on the,
Oh, right.
all that room for nothing.
So
All that
speaking
room
of
for
upcoming
nothing.
shows, yeah.
Well,
So speaking of
That's
upcoming shows, I mean,
fireworks. Sorry.
one thing I should mention, we've been talking about doing the CoCo 4 special. I know some of us are trying to get our machines up and running. Rick, you've been finding discs and all kinds of stuff to get your System 5 up. I've got to try to get a floppy controller and SDC working in my TC9 because the current floppy in there, I don't think the drive's even working anymore from the amount of errors I was trying to getting it up and running. So instead of trying to rush out a show special ourselves, I think we'll just do it in January as part of Mark's
We can take over
Tandy
Mark's
Tech
show. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll try to maybe make that like a 1 or 2 hour special with a bunch of us that have some of the quote unquote CoCo 4 machines.
Okay, now I got to send another
Awesome.
email. Dang it.
Awesome. You're gonna save the show because I've only got 2 people so far. Rick keeps telling me he sent me something, but I'm not seeing anything there.
Oh no, I haven't sent it yet because I've been doing this
Oh.
whole faffing around with this CoCoNation people, and I haven't got
Okay.
back to my email yet. But
Yeah.
okay, so I'll send
So
you
for
2 of them.
upcoming shows, the first one coming up here in December, which is December 6th and the 7th, Saturday and Sunday, is the World of Commodore, which is a bit of a misnomer because for quite a few years now, it's actually been the World of Retro, basically, because I mean, the Commodore is it's run by the Debug group, the longest running user group for a home computer in the world. But they've definitely expanded out to a whole bunch of other machines. And if you've seen, Frank doing some live coverage of them here the last couple of years, you've seen CoCos, you've seen Ataris, you've seen all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely not a closed-minded, just Commodore type thing. It's everybody. It's all the retro stuff. And that's taking place at the Admiral Inn in Mississauga, Ontario. Frank and Retro Rewind is one of the official sponsors of it. They also have like LAN parties and hardware upgrade stuff and all kinds of things. And for those of us who can't make it to the show, I'm hoping to get Frank to do some live streaming. Jim Brain is going to this one this year as well, so maybe we'll get some comments and thoughts from him as well. And of course, he's big in both in the Commodore and the CoCo community, being a hardware designer. He's also the president of Glenside. So definitely some CoCo representation will be there. I'm hoping people like Nick and a few others can also make it out there. Or Neil, I should say, not Nick. Nick would have a hell of a flight to get there.
Right.
But Neil Blanchard and a few others in the
Yes,
fairly
Ken.
close vicinity are planning on coming out to this show as well. So hopefully we'll get some pretty good CoCo representation. And the next one, the 2026 Tandy Retro Show. And this is Mark O's baby. So I will let him talk about it while you see the screen.
Hey there, thank you very much. So I'm still looking for people to show up and provide content. So far, I only have 2 people that are shown any interest, Joe Ewe, and Boyson Tech. Both have wanted to schedule a spot. But hey, I'm looking for more events. And hey, I'd love to have the CoCo 4s, in quotes, show up because that would be a good couple hours. Could be a couple hours of content. Hey, if you don't, I'm going to have to come up with something lame to fill the time. No, it's okay. So I'm sure people will show up. It's just a matter of, just keep announcing it and letting people know it'll be there. We've done it for 2 years so far. This will be the 3rd year. I'm all for it. It's all in my wheelhouse, wanting to provide information about the CoCo platform and Tandies in general. So I'm more than willing to do this sort of stuff. So I'll be there whether you show up or not. Anyway,
we could do the live feed of the snow gauge.
Probably have to.
So is this right? Registration at 10dayretroshow.com.
Yep.
Cool.
And the rate it's going right now, he might have to upgrade it by the time the show ends here. Add a multi-pack extender to it.
Oh yeah, we've passed a trans top and we're heading into Hello Logo range. So
anyway, for some details there, you can hit tandyretroshow.com. I think you have a email link that they can send if they want to.
Yeah, it's actually in green there at the bottom of the page. It's a registration at tandyretroshow.com.
Right there.
By the way, if you want to watch it, you don't have to register. I had about 1/4 of the people that contacted me last year going, I'd like to register to watch. Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be free to watch and you don't have to register. Only if you want to present.
Yeah. Now, will that be on our YouTube channel or will that be on the Glenside one?
Both. Last year, Jim Brain got set up. I was able to add it to Restream and be able to target all of them. So Restream.io is a great thing. I just added Glenside's channel to the thing and it targeted just fine. So it'll be on both.
And Twitch and YouTube both?
Twitch and YouTube and Glenside's YouTube.
And everything else. Nice.
And anything else that we can find.
And have we all pretty well given up on streaming to Facebook at this point?
For the time being, yeah. So Facebook is weird.
Yeah, I know Mark's complaining about the other Mark B is complaining about it.
Right, all the Marks.
Well, does it actually stream? Because it is still turned on.
I don't think it actually does.
I don't think it is.
It's not handshaking properly. So.
Right.
That's Mark Zipperberg. That's my
obviously they don't. Yeah, obviously they don't need the content, so they're lost.
Right.
Anyway,
expect a whole bunch of cool retro stuff there, and also some potential CoCo 4 stuff from the '90s. And for those of you who missed that part of the history of the CoCo.
Anyway.
Yes, I am now building a VGA to SCART converter so I can plug into my CoCo converter so I can put that online.
Cool.
Because I don't have a VGA capture card, but I do have a SCART. Well, I do have the Jason things going. So
yeah, and if anybody's interested in capturing their older devices to modern stuff, talk to me. I've got a couple different boxes that I know of that can be used to capture HDMI and be able to stick it into your computer so you can do like OBS. That's how I do my game on every week.
Like the Delmar 5, it's VGA, but it's slow VGA.
All right.
So that's great if you put it into SCART, but you can't really do anything with it as VGA as far as capturing the video off of it. It's really it's a whole new old world, I guess, that I've gotten into here.
Mark, do you need that artwork updated with the new dates on it?
I'd love that, please, Ron.
Okay. We'll get with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next show after that is VCF Montreal, and since we actually have Frederic still on the show here, this is being held January 24th to the 25th at the Royal Military College of
Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu.
I just can't say it with that kind of flair. That's why I always get Frederic to do it for me.
Exactly.
It's a roll in the arm with the slew.
So hey, this is Canada's very first official VCF. This is also taking place in Montreal, the home base for Frederic and also for Sockmaster and possibly some other people that might be showing up. I know John Kowalski Sockmaster has expressed definite interest in attending the show. I don't know if he wants a booth or anything or if he's just going to attend, but this might be one of your chances to meet because I don't think he's been to any of the fests since probably Penn Fest 2000, I think. Where the only time I've ever met him, and also Nick is the one who actually convinced him to come down to that show. So be there, be square, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Next after that is, of course, CoCoFEST, the official one. Grant was actually in here earlier. I don't think he's still on the call, giving us some of the details and also some other details that will be coming up here. But basically, it looks like they've got the food part cemented away. They've already got the discount codes for the hotel. This is taking place April the 24th and the 25th at the same location it was last year. And, of course, if you're into the CoCo, this is the main show. I mean, this is where all the bigwigs in the CoCo community and all the cool new demonstrations of hardware and software happen. I think last year you guys had Spy Hunter with actual Spy Hunter arcade controls hooked up to a CoCo or something like that. So that was pretty darned impressive. And... yeah, so I mean, Grant will give a couple more updates here, but it looks like you're already taking donations for the auction, which of course is one of the ways they pay for the fest every year. And I will definitely say the auction usually has way better deals than eBay does. So if you want to pick up some hardware or some software with manuals, it's at a really cheap, I definitely would recommend attending the thing. And of course, if you've got spare things that you don't need anymore from the CoCo side of things, or unopened boxes of floppy disks or something, to donate them to the auction, and they can actually sell those off and put some money in the kitty for next year's CoCoFEST. After that, we have VCF LATAM 2026. This is the very first official Latin American Vintage Computer Festival. So there's two. Unfortunately, this is also the exact same weekend as CoCoFEST. So I don't think too many of the people in the United States or Canada are probably going to be down at this one. But if it shifts to a slightly different date and people want to take a bit of a holiday, it might be a good show to go to. We've got a lot of representation in Brazil, for example. Of course, Erico and the rest, because they had all the CoCo clones, like CP400, CP402, the Color 64, and a whole bunch of others, Kodamax, Mex, something like that. There's been a whole bunch of them there. So they had their own entire industry going down there, and this is going to be taking place at, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, my apologies for that, but Bahia Blanca in Argentina. And it's the very first show for this type of thing, also April the 24th to the 26th. So if anybody is down in South America, and wants to attend this one, we'd love to get some live coverage from it, or even just some photos afterwards. We can kind of just show what the show looked like, and hopefully we can get some input on that. And then last one that I currently have, and if you guys have any more, please send us to any details on any other retro shows that are maybe missing that the CoCo will be represented at. You can reach me at chrisboyle@sastel.net by email, or you can just leave a message in Discord there's a couple of places you could put it on there. You can direct message me, or you can, just put it up on one of the channels that seems appropriate for doing the retro shows there. We can just pick in the stuff in there. If you have a website to link to, that'd be great too. This one here, the last one, is of this VCF Pacific Northwest, and this is one that actually kind of disappeared after COVID and is just coming back as an official VCF event. They kind of did their own, which Mark O can probably talk about more because he actually attended these, and then I think even Ken Waters attended one of these.
Yep, Ken did too.
And you can explain where that is and what you know about it.
Well, I know that the Interim Computer Museum, which is basically popped up in Seattle after the Living Computer Museum went away to COVID, has been trying to promote these events. They've had once or twice a year for the past couple of years. Pretty small room, only about 15, 20 tables, pretty packed, but pretty well attended. Get a lot of people, especially on Saturday, come in and look around. It's really cool. But it looks like they've got a community center in Tukwila. That's what that's called in Washington State. And anyway, I've never been to that community center, but hopefully it's got a bunch of space. And this is an official VCF event, so hopefully it'll get a little bit more promotion. And it's a good time of year. It's going to be 1 week after CoCoFEST this year. So looking forward to it. And of course, it's only 3.5 hours from me, so it's be easy jump to get to. And I understand that Richard is going to be there because he and his wife are going to be going on a Alaskan cruise right after that. So he's piggybacking his trip to the West Coast.
Come up right there to get on the cruise anyway. So that works out good.
Yep, it does. So I know I did one of those Alaskan cruises 3 years ago at this point. So anyway, that is the story. So come show up. Hopefully we'll have a lot of space.
Okay, cool. And that's the last ones I have. So like I said before, if you have any ones that are missing here, just send me some details on that. We'll mention it on the show. And that's it for the news segment this week. Translation for Mark B. I think the show's over.
Yep. That's it. Put a fork in it.
Trying to find the right mouse so I can push the right buttons.
Here's our last weather update. We have definitely passed trans top and are approaching hello logo. So I suppose I will give you an update in the morning if I can still see the CoCo or not.
Suggestion. I recommend you go out there and put black markers, at least a half-inch wide on each of the levels.
But you can see the gaps. I've used the gaps and the natural gaps in the CoCo for my divisors.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
If the logo hadn't fallen off, you could actually see where we were at.
It was so cold the logo fell off?
Yeah, it's in the snow there somewhere.
Oh, I bet you it's that little black line right there.
Right.
Oh, might be.
Keyboard hole.
You'll find it in the spring.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I get my essential drugs mailed to me, and I found one of them when the snowblower ejected it out into the front yard. So,
oh, no.
Ooh.
So is that lettering on that one you got there waterproof?
Oh, that's not the one that's outdoors.
I know. I'm just asking if it's waterproof.
That's just the illustration. That's why I keep them side by side. So, so you can use the native gaps in the CoCo, which I didn't pick these spaces. Tandy picked these spaces. 3 inches from the bottom, 5 inches, 7 inches is half a case. Tandy picked all of these spaces for us. So
we need to have a look at what Bob Emery's doing.
Yeah, his computer's tick-tocking.
I never measured, but is the grill spacing the same on all CoCos? It's like a Jeep thing.
Yeah.
Definitely not on the CoCo 1. It's quite different on that one.
Yeah, the CoCo 1, but the 2 and 3, I think so. They've all got the LED holes that Bob uses for his 6-way light project, and they've all got this block off over the transformer. Yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, there's a CoCo 2 in my logo, but a CoCo 3 in the front yard. And no one knows.
Okay, well, we ready for the outro?
Yep. I can't make it last any longer.
We try.
This concludes another episode of the CoCoNation, the world's leading live interactive talk show featuring the Technicolor computer. For all things the CoCoNation, visit us on the web at thecoconation.com. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to show@thecoconation.com. The CoCoNation show would not exist without the community and its cast and crew. The CoCoNation theme song, copyright 2022, D. Bruce Moore. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. The CoCoNation is over. Join us on the CoCo Discord server.
CoCo forever.
Okay, so.
Okay, so when's that next thing going to happen? Tomorrow afternoon or something?
Oh, the Amigos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted the link. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you hit the Amigos Retro Gaming channel on either Twitch or on YouTube, there should be a live quicks by Tom Mix.
All right, guys.
All right. Till.
And I have to run because I have to go get some more toner. I was actually doing a big print project before the show here, and it ran out, so now I paused it, and I have to go get toner.
Beauty. Big box.
Okay.
Very expensive.
Stay warm.
See you next week.
Hasta luego.
Don't forget Thursday. Game On Challenge.
8 p.m. Eastern.
What?
We're sorry.
They're still doing that?
There you go, Nick. You got it in there.
Unfortunately.